true sports addict, this game has to be his reoccurring flashback.
Oh, my goodness, what a turnabout!
Miami had blown a 31-0 halftime lead and lost 42-40. No team in college football history had ever done that. Finally, Game 12. Boston College, Flutie versus Kozar. They broke records galore, but it was Flutie who broke everyone's heart. Miami played Boston College nearly 5 weeks ago, yet the memory of that game is as vivid as if it happened this morning. Remember? 45-41 Miami leads. Ball at the 48-yard line with 6 seconds left when Flutie comes up under center and just does his thing.
Flutie is back. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. This game is over. Hail Mary, deep. It is called for a touchdown. I don't believe it. Boston College has won. Miami, that's awful. What a great play.
This is just about the spot where Miami's regular season ended, where Phelan caught the pass. Miami's season ended with 2 heartbreaking, devastating defeats to Maryland and Boston College, and that was followed by the resignation of defensive coordinator Bill Trout. Since then, Jimmy Johnson has lost other assistant coaches. There may be more. So the Hurricanes go to the Fiesta Bowl with a record of 8-4. Like we said, 1984 may not have been as successful as '83, but brother, it sure was interesting.
It was an interesting season, to say the least, for the University of Miami football program, and a hectic one for this man here, Jimmy Johnson. And coming in like it did, Coach, it's analogous, I would think, to having the Benz. In retrospect, what was it like for you?
Well, it was interesting. I tell you, there was something new almost every day. It was an exciting year. It was an exciting year in that I don't think that I ever experienced as many highs and as many lows in such a short period of time. But some good things happened for our program, and overall, we're really happy with the year that our football team had.
If you had to do it over again and had the power to change some things, would you have changed 1 or 2 things?
Oh, you know, obviously, you know, hindsight, you can look back and say, well, you know, I could have done this or could have done that, and it would have turned out different. But unfortunately, we don't have hindsight. You know, the biggest problem that I had coming in was I did not know our players. I did not know our coaches. And so, you know, really I was at... you know, I was in a situation where really I had my hands tied. It still just kind of boggles my mind to see what this team went through. And, you know, they've been practicing football for about 5 months. And it's the longest season I think most anybody's ever been around.
You've not won since mid-November, but again, you haven't played since the first week of December. The frame of mind of this team as you prepare for your last game of the 84-85 season?
Well, I think they're relaxed. I think they're confident that they're going to do the job. I'm really pleased the way the defensive people have kind of pulled together and really reacted in a positive manner in getting ready for this UCLA ball game. I think they are bound and determined to go out and play well.
Now, here are a few things to look for while watching the Miami defense in the Fiesta Bowl. UCLA will run a lot of bootleg action because Florida State did. They were extremely effective with it. The Bruins will run it from both split backs and the I formation. Out of the I, it'll be the toss sweep action to the right. Meantime, quarterback Bono will come over here to the left and settle. He'll be protected by this offensive guard right here. The primary receiver, the tight end. It will come across the field at an 8-yard depth and settle in this area. This wide receiver will come and do an 18-yard comeback, while this wide receiver does the same pattern as the tight end at a depth of 12 to 18 yards. The key for Miami, this defensive end right here. He must stay at home, must not be influenced by the flow, come across the line of scrimmage, beat the block of the offensive guard, come around, get into the face, pressure, and contain quarterback Bono. Now, one of Miami's most successful plays offensively is the Texas pattern. It involves 4 receivers. Here's how it works. Eddie Brown over here will come over and do a post pattern. Stanley Shakespeare will come over and do a square in. Tight end Willie Smith will come across the field and settle in this area, while the running back Melvin Bratton will come over into the flat. Bernie Kosar's read is the weak safety. If he bites on the post, Kosar goes to Shakespeare on the square in. If he bites on the square in, Kosar has a short touchdown by going to Eddie Brown on the post. His third receiver in the progression series here is Melvin Bratton, the running back. His fourth receiver in his choice is tight end Willie Smith. If all four are covered, Kosar throws the ball away. Now, to tell you who's going to win, the X's or the O's. Naturally, we couldn't bring our entire News 4 sports team to Arizona, but from what I hear, Hank Goldberg is not missing the Fiesta Bowl atmosphere one bit. So I'll just pass the hat to Hank back in Miami for his analysis and view of the game.
Well, it's about as close to the desert as I'm going to get this winter unless somebody sends me a junket ticket to Las Vegas. For once, Tony, I don't envy you this trip. I mean, being stuck out there in the desert, to see a bowl game with two teams who have 7 losses between them. See, I decided to bring the West to me. I got my cactus, my boots, my hat, my shirt, my jeans, and I'm all set right here to see this meaningless bowl game. Of 18 bowl games that will be played this year, only 2 will be significant. Of course, there's the Brigham Young Bowl, and then there's the Orange Bowl, where at least the winners of those 2 games can produce a controversy over who's really number 1. Of the other 16, they're so meaningless that you have to look towards motivation to determine who's going to win, and Miami should have plenty of that. After all, here's a team that had loftier aspirations at the beginning of the season, had 2 real disappointing losses that cost them a bigger bowl game than this one, and it still can crack the top 10 and salvage something. Now, they're not going to have to face a big play offense, that's for sure. Terry Donahue, while he's an excellent coach, plays it close to the vest. I think his quarterback's name is Sonny Bono, so forget about the big play burning Miami. On the other hand, injuries, not a factor except for Alonzo Highsmith, but which coaches will show up? That's the big question. Bernie Kosar will be there, I know that, and UCLA will never have seen the likes of him. Kosar will go out there and have a field day against their secondary, and that'll be the big difference in the ball game. And I think Miami will roll it up pretty good against the UClans, and I think that'll be great for Jimmy Johnson because right now he sorely needs a convincing victory. I think he's done a good job, and he deserves that victory as well. And as for me, I'll be here with my hat, my boots, my jeans, my cactus, the bay, the ocean out there, and I got horses too. If I want to go out to Caller, I can bet on them.
Thanks, Hank. Somehow I knew you'd make the best of your situation. Well, when we return, Jimmy Cephalo takes a nostalgic look back at his Fiesta experience, and we'll show you what we experienced in our week out here.
We know how much you love sports. So what would it take to get you to pick up the phone and order Sports Illustrated? A free trip to the World Series? Sorry. How about a discount when you subscribe? Say 10% off, 25, 35%? How about almost 50% off the cover price? That's a savings of nearly $1 on every issue. And you'll fast break into basketball right through the NBA playoffs. Plus coverage of hockey, baseball, and football. No one captures the spirit of the game better than Sports Illustrated. So why aren't you dialing? All right. What if we also include Sports Illustrated's 1985 baseball preview issue with profiles, feature stories, and predictions for every division, every team? More? How about our famous swimsuit issue that covers one of the most exciting spectator sports under the sun? Not enough? Well, are you a baseball fan? We'll take you from spring training to the heat of the pennant races. More? Okay, we'll even give you this free 1985 baseball schedule for every major league team. So, how about a final bonus? This exclusive Sports Illustrated AM/FM sound set. It's your personal hi-fi complete with headphones. So why aren't you pressing those pretty little buttons? Oh, the phone number. It's 1-800-621-3500. 30 issues of Sports Illustrated for 3 easy monthly installments of just $9.89. That's almost half off the cover price, including the baseball preview and the swimsuit issue, plus this 1985 baseball schedule and AM/FM personal hi-fi free with your paid subscription. So now what?
I can't see the phone number.
It's 1-800-621-3500. Call now.
I'm Jimmy Johnson with the University of Miami. My wife, Linda Kay, and everyone here at the Fiesta Bowl would like to wish everybody a happy holidays and a happy new year.
Another member of our staff, Jimmy Cephalo, could not make it out here with us. He had some dolphin business to take care of. But Jimmy already knows what it's like to be out here for an entire week enjoying the festivities. He played in the Fiesta Bowl a few years back. In fact, Cephalo had a lot of bowl experience during his college days. Every new year, he was someplace new.
Tony, a bowl bid is supposed to be a reward for a long and successful season. During my 4 years at Penn State, we were rewarded well. 4 bowls, the Cotton, Gator, Sugar, and Fiesta, my last one in 1977. So here goes my Fiesta flashback. Here we are arriving in Arizona. Were we ever happy to get out of that sub-zero weather back east? I would have almost paid my own way. You see, bowl committees treat you better than your mother and father almost, like visiting dignitaries. That's a good word for it. No holiday inns for us. We stayed at the Camelback Inn, fit for a chic. Bowl week means a lot of banquets and even more speeches. And of course, everyone gets a plaque to prove you were there and a watch. I've still got my 4 bowl watches. Don't know where the plaque is, though. Back then, the Fiesta Bowl was played on Christmas Day. They even had a cactus decorated like a Christmas tree. It just didn't seem the same. But the Fiesta Bowl really knows how to put on a show. We spent a full week soaking up the sun and didn't think very much about football. Each senior got a car, and there were enough ASU co-eds to show us the sights. No, we definitely didn't think very much about football. The media took up some of our time every day trying to get us to say something inflammatory about our opponent, Arizona State. One reporter told me ASU's top receiver compared himself to me by saying it was like comparing a thoroughbred to a plow horse. That inflamed me all right. But years later, I'm happy to see the narrator in the highlight film got it right.
After stalling on the 41, ASU punter Mark Jones launches a punt to fabulous 44. Jimmy Cephalo, the Penn State speed burner. Cephalo, running to daylight like a falling meteor, blasts off behind a wall of Nittany Lion blockers for 62 yards before finally being brought back to earth by the last ASU man, Jones the punter.
By the way, John Jefferson, that ASU receiver, didn't catch a pass until the 4th quarter. That's when the old plow horse made another big play.
That dynamite duo, Fusina and Cephalo, deliver the blow most everyone agrees is the devil killer. Fusina hits his favorite target for 13 and a crucial first down.
We won the game 42-30. Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl was a good time, especially for the old Penn State speed burner.
Well, Jimmy, I understand you blazed quite a trail out here, both on and off the field. And, Mark, I can understand now why a football player can get sidetracked, get his mind off football with all the things to do out here in Arizona.
You bet. This is kind of the yuppie capital of the Southwest. I lived here 2 years. And even though most people are probably more attached to their cars, there still is a very real flavor of the Old West. Let's go for a ride and I'll talk about Arizona.
Great. Sounds good.
Come on, Billy. Come on.
Tony, much of Arizona is still wilderness. The well-known beauty of the Grand Canyon, less than 6 hours from Phoenix. But there are 22 national park systems in the state, 11 million acres of national forest. Let me show you some of the best-known sites. The Rainbow Bridge. The Red Rocks of Sedona, a mecca for Hollywood stars and the rich. Flagstaff in the spring. The Superstition Mountains and the landmark known as Weaver's Needle. Monument Valley. There's nothing else like it in the world, and this land of Indian folklore is just a short drive from the Grand Canyon. All of that is a way of life for Arizonans.
I don't think I've ever seen more variations of cactus in my life. Now, I was told that there's that one variation of cactus out here that if you touch it, all of the thorns jump right off and onto you.
Yeah. From this city park, the largest park system in the country, you can look down and see Phoenix. 1.5 million people live in this metropolitan area. It's a city where hot air balloons are seen almost every day during the winter.
Get off, take a look?
Yeah, let's...
While the Phoenix area has transportation problems more related to cars than horses and growing pains like any city in the Sun Belt, the ties to Mother Nature are strong.
See this mountain range over here?
Yeah.
You've heard of the Superstition Mountains and the Lost Dutchman's Gold Mine?
Yes.
That's it. somewhere out there.
Do people still believe in that?
A lot of people do. A lot of people go up there in the summertime and look for it. As a matter of fact, there are people that live up there full time and shoot you if you get too close. It's true.
Well, I'll tell you what, after this ride today, Mark, I'll tell you, the people from the Miami contingent up here with the University of Miami have had a great experience here in the Phoenix area, and I know a lot of them have never been to Arizona, so that makes it just more special for them.
I lived here 2 years, and it's still very special to me, even though you love South Florida, and Miami is very special in your heart. A place like this kind of grows on you, too.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I'll have some final thoughts right after this.
We got trunks and tails, hooves and paws. We got spots and stripes, muzzles and claws. We got antlers, horns, pouches and jaws. We got checks and rings. Yeah, we got all kinds of things. And now Metro Zoo's got wings. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All kinds of wings. Oh, yeah. Metro Zoo's got wings. We got
in UCLA against last year's national champions, the Miami Hurricanes. The Miami attack led, of course, by Bernie Kosar, who threw for 25 touchdowns this year. He'll go against a Bruin defense, which is headed by linebacker Neil Delacono. You see him here on the sack, number 39. From Tempe, it's on to Pasadena. Yeah, we'll say it. It's the granddaddy of them all. The Rose Bowl, Ohio State against USC. The Buckeyes were 9-2 this year, thanks largely to Heisman runner-up Keith Byers, who led the nation with 1,655 yards and 24 touchdowns. USC features defensive All-Americans Dwayne Pickett and Jack Del Rio. Then it's on to the primetime pageantry of the Orange Bowl, where the national championship might be at stake, with Washington going against Oklahoma. Quarterback Danny Bradley keys the Sooners' wishbone attack. They're ranked number 2 in the country. Right behind them are the Huskies at 10-1, and running back Jacques Robinson is coming on strong at season's end. The Fiesta Rose and Orange Bowls coming up next on Bowl Day 85 on NBC. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Costas, and once more, Happy New Year to you all from all of us at NBC. We're going to waste no time beginning our triple-header coverage, the Fiesta, Rose, and Orange Bowls coming up. We'll be back here throughout the day with scores and highlights, but the kickoff at Tempe, Arizona is seconds away, so let's join Charlie Jones and Bob Greasy. Happy New Year, fellas.
This is the Valley of the Sun, and welcome to the 14th annual Fiesta Bowl Classic between the Miami Hurricanes and the UCLA Bruins. This is Charlie Jones and Bob Greasy, and it is a perfect day for football. The temperature in the low 70s, just a bit of a breeze. And Miami will be kicking off to UCLA, and so today we start on NBC, fun, sun, and then the battle for number 1, the Fiesta Bowl. Then more sun in Pasadena, the Rose Bowl, and then on to the Orange Bowl. But first things first, the Miami Hurricanes and the UCLA Bruins. Miami will be kicking off. Mark Seelig will kick off to either Gaston Green or Bob Garibaldi. And we're underway. Happy New Year, everybody. And here's the freshman Gaston Green to the 10. Hit at the 15, down around the 16 or the 17-yard line. Selwyn Brown makes the tackle. And here is the quarterback for the Bruins, Steve Bono. Up front, he'll have Hartmeyer, Mannon, Barron, McCullough, and Love as that offensive line. Averages in around 250. Sherrard and Tennell as receivers. And joining him in the backfield, Wiley Green with Young outside, and we have an injured player down at the 20-yard line. And we believe it is Chris Cox. Yes, it is. Number 76. One of the offensive guards for the Bruins, and he, of course, playing on the specialty team. So let's go back to the lineups. Defensively, we'll see Cameron, Fagan, Morris, Brown, and Cortez. Fleming and Myra are the linebackers. Bain, Fullington, Sutton, and Calhoun in the secondary. Now we'll also see Lucius Delegal for Bain. They'll be in and out, and Bain can swing at both corners. And here is Chris Cox, the redshirt freshman out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Back it up, Bruins. Hey, everybody back. Everybody back up, quick.
And so now we go to play. The ball at the 16-yard line. First down, UCLA with Green and Wiley in the backfield. Play action, fake. Pass is complete at the 24-yard line. A gain of 8. It'll be second down and a couple. Mike Young on the receiving end.
Charlie, some of the players we'll be looking at today on the left for the UCLA Bruins offensively. Mike Sherrard, their fine wide receiver. Duval Love, their second-team All-American offensive lineman. Gaston Green for Miami. Kevin Fagan. Bruce Fleming, their great linebacker, and Ken Calhoun, their strong safety.
Second down and a couple. The give is to Brian Wiley, the first back through. And Wiley goes to the 27-yard line. He'll pick up 3 in the first down. Bruce Fleming makes the tackle on the play.
Bruce Fleming has really come in and played very well this year for the Hurricanes, replacing some great linebackers that have come through the University of Miami in the last few years.
The Bruins alternating Mike Sherrard and Al Wilson, wide receiver, as a messenger service from the bench. Steve Bono, the quarterback, 6'4", 210-pound senior from Norristown, Pennsylvania. On the option, the pitch is to Gaston Green. Green is shut off, Bob, as he tries to get around the corner, and he's pushed outside by Kevin Fagan.
One of the outstanding players, number 95 for University of Miami, Kevin Fagan. He throws the offensive tackle out of the way, pursues down the line of scrimmage, and makes the tackle. Great play by Fagan.
Second down and 7 following the gain of 3 yards on the play. No score, opening moments of the 14th annual Fiesta Bowl Classic. Bono rolling to his right. And is incomplete. 42-yard line. Mike Young, the intended receiver. It'll be third down and 7. Back at the 30-yard line, and Lucius Delegal at the defensive coverage.
On the other side of the line, with one of the men we said we'd be looking at, Duval Love, a big offensive lineman, number 67 in white, blocks down on number 90, Morris, and then seals the inside as Bono makes the sprint to the outside. But this is one of the things we're going to be seeing from the University of from UCLA, is the sprint out and getting Bono outside the pocket to throw the football.
Greg Francois checks into the backfield as Bono will operate from a shotgun. Third down and 7. And he drops it underneath the coverage, and the pass is incomplete. He was going to Gaston Green. It'll be fourth down and 7 at the 30-yard line. Julio Cortez of the Hurricanes was there. And that means that Kevin Bonifay, the number 15th ranked punter among the major colleges, and the senior from Tulare, California, will be kicking. And Eddie Brown, the All-America from Miami High School, the senior for the Hurricanes, will be set for the return.
A little bit of a change to have Brown back returning punts, but it's one big ball game. The Hurricanes would very much like to win this game. They're pulling out all the stops.
Not that good a kick. And we'll be down at about the 39-yard line. So we have no score. UCLA kicking to Miami, and we'll see the Hurricanes on offense for the first time in the ball game in the first of their quarterback, Bernie Kosar. Don't go up.
Well, I think for UCLA, the motivation is this is the fourth time actually they've been on New Year's Day ball game, and they'd like to win 3 in a row, and I don't think any team has done that. For the University of Miami, they've lost their last 2 ball games of the season. They need to come back and win. It's going to help their offseason and their recruiting, obviously.
And now we'll see Miami for the first time on offense. The quarterback is Bernie Kosar, number 3 ranked quarterback among the major colleges this year. And he can put the ball in the air. We have jumping as the left tackle, Paul Berticelli. So a little kind of a nervous start, I think, perhaps on both sides.
I think you're right, Charlie. Anytime you have a game, exciting game, big game that you've been looking forward to a long time, you're going to have somebody a little nervous.
All right, let's go to the offensive set for Bernie Kosar. His line will be Heffernan, Ward, Sinclair, Moore, and Berticelli, who just jumped off. They average in at around 260 pounds. Smith and Brown, 2 of the receivers. Shakespeare in the backfield, along with Darrell Oliver and Melvin Bratton. First down and 15. And here's Darrell Oliver. And he has to fight his way to the 35-yard line. A gain of a yard. It'll be second down and 14. Let's look at the defense for the UCLA Bruins. Randall, Block, and Whalen, the front 3. And they'll show 4 linebackers: Phillips, Taylor, Knowles, and Delicano. In the secondary for UCLA, Welch, Washington, Price, and Pitts. And we'll also, of course, see Craig Rutledge. 2nd down and 14. No score in the ball game. And we still have 13 minutes left to go in the first quarter. We're 2 minutes into the 14th annual Fiesta Bowl Classic. 2nd and 14. We look for Kozar to put it in the air. And here he goes. He wants to set a screen, and there it is. It's complete to Bratton, and Bratton is to the 40. Bratton to the 43, the 44-yard line. So Bratton will pick up 9 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And the free safety, the leading tackler for the Bruins, James Washington, is the man who brings him down.
Been a lot of talk this week about stopping Bernie Kosar. I think a good play is a screen pass to start off with, as you see Bratton, number 5, sneaking under. Moore, number 50, a personal protector out there. Bratton sees the hole and breaks off of Moore very well.
So Miami operating at their own 44.
The ball came out there at the end a little bit, Charlie.
It did. 3rd down and 5. Kozar running out of time on the 25-second clock. Looked up, checked the clock, said it's just not there, and he calls for a timeout. So an alert call by the quarterback, Bernie Kosar. We've got a timeout. No score. UCLA and Miami.
In 1982, Toyota introduced a standard bed truck for $59.98, and it was a winner.
Thus, for all of your insurance needs, ride with Kemper. And by Wang. Wang puts people in front of computers.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy. No score between Miami and UCLA. 3rd down and 5 for the Hurricanes. The ball on their own 44-yard line.
You got it, baby! Here we go!
Blitz is coming. Kozar's in trouble, and he is sacked. James Washington got it.
Here we go!
First sack of the ball game and a loss of 10. It'll be 4th down and 15.
Something a little bit different by UCLA. Number 3, James Washington, the freshman, showing a safety blitz on the first possession pass of the ball game. Kosar has seen a lot coming into this ball game. Terry Donahue told us, I don't know if there's anything we can show him that he hasn't seen. I think they just showed him one thing right there.
And Rick Tootin with a 41.6-yard average will be kicking to Ron Pitts. Pitts takes it at the 25-yard line. Picks up a block. He's to the 30, the 35, the 40. And returns to the 49-yard line. A 41-yard kick, a 23-yard return for the senior from Orchard Park, who has had knee surgery this year, did not play against USC, and had foot surgery this week.
A lot of people ask, why do the punt returners always run to the sideline? Well, they run there to see all those white jerseys to set up the wall for them. You see Tootin, the punter, trying to make the tackle in vain, finally make the stop. But UCLA has got to play well on special teams to have a chance to win today.
And the Bruins with a first down at their own 49-yard line. And the give is to Gaston Green. Goes to the 47-yard line of Miami. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And Darrell Fullington, the second leading tackler for the Miami Hurricanes, along with linebacker George Myra Jr., team up to make the tackle at the 47-yard line. 2nd down and 6 with Mike Young coming wide to the near side. Mike Sherrard wide to the far side. And here's Green. Freshman sensation for the Bruins. He goes to the 41. He has 6 yards. It will be close to the first down. Green, 134 yards rushing against USC in that ball game. He has been averaging 5.3 yards a carry. At Gardena High School in his senior year, he rushed for more than 1,200 yards, and he scored some 14 touchdowns.
It's an outstanding back, Charlie, with really great speed. You know, the 2 top rushers for each of these teams, Andrews and also Highsmith for the University of Miami, both out of the ball game, but they both have a lot of depth at that position.
It is a first down for the Bruins at the Miami 41-yard line. Fake to Green. Bono to throw. He's going to keep it. And is bumped out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So he'll pick up a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. And the rover back, Ken Calhoun, is the man who made the stop for Miami.
Calhoun was a man that really, as a senior, strong safety, was injured earlier in the season. You should see him getting a jam on the front receiver. He's playing the short zone. He is the man that was hurt, went out for 3 or 4 ball games, and really the University of Miami's secondary had some problems while he was out. He is the glue that holds that secondary together. They're very happy to have him back in the lineup.
Earl Smith comes in, 2 tight ends on the set, and here's the quick pitch to Gaston Green. Green down the sideline, out of bounds, at about the 31-yard line. It will be close to the 1st down marker. Bruce Fleming was there for the Hurricanes. The Bruins going on a quick snap.
And it's a good call, Charlie, early in the ball game to go on a quick count because the defense is not set. And what that will tell the defense is you better get set, and that will give an opportunity for the offensive quarterback to read the coverage a little bit quicker if the defense has to get set a lot quicker because of the fear of the quick count.
Sherrard comes back in. Paco Craig comes in. 3rd down and 1. And the Bruins will pick up the 1st down. Bono does it. 2 yards to the 29. 1st down for UCLA. Now, they started this drive with their own 49, and the man who set it up was Ron Pitts with his punt return.
Certainly did, and he was we were doubtful whether or not he was going to play. He had a little minor surgery on his foot, but there's Terry Donahue. And talking with Terry the other day, he was very, very weary coming into this ball game. He was very concerned about Miami and Kosar and their offense, and I'll talk a little bit more about that after this play.
James Primus comes in at tailback, and Gaston Green comes out. Bono. Timing pattern down the sideline. It's there. Caught. 6-yard line. It'll be 1st down and goal to go. Mike Sherrard, 26 yards on the play.
Sherrard with outstanding speed, doesn't use it here. He just sees the ball. Fullington, number 19, does not see it. 1 foot inbound, makes the catch.
So the ball at the 6-yard line. It will be 1st down and goal to go. Sherrard, the leading receiver for the Bruins, and in 22 straight games he has caught at least 2 passes. He has 1 reception in this game. 1st down, goal to go. The Bruins with an opportunity to go out in front of the favorite Hurricane. Here's Gaston Green. He's got it. Gaston Green from 6 yards out, and UCLA goes on top with a 51-yard drive.
Well, one of the things that Terry Donahue was afraid of coming into this ball game was getting behind the high-powered offense of the University of Miami. Just a simple little toss, stretches the defense. Gaston Green, good quickness and speed, finds a little crack and gets up in there. But Donahue did not want to get behind where he had to play catch-up. He says his offense is not that type of offense. He doesn't have to worry about it here today. They get on the board first.
John Lee to attempt the point after. David Clinton is the holder. And Terry Theodore with the snap. And it is good. A 51-yard drive in 7 plays. It took 1 minute and 47, and UCLA is out in front of Miami by a score of 7-0. Leading Miami by a score of 7-0, and Ken Potter will be kicking off for the Bruins. The deep back is Reggie Sutton, and off on the wings, Darrell Oliver and Steve Staffier for the Miami Hurricanes. 9 minutes and 14 seconds, time remaining, 1st quarter. And the Hurricanes have had the ball on offense only 1 time, and the key to that was a sack by James Washington that shut down their offense. 3 yards deep in the end zone. Here's Reggie Sutton. Sutton makes the cut at the 15. A little juke step at the 17 to the 20. Has to get away from 2 more men. Around the corner. And he goes out of bounds. An excellent return. Excellent return by Reggie Sutton, the sophomore. And Ken Potter, the man who kicked off, is the man who stopped him a 37-yard return.
Sutton has not returned a lot of kickoffs this year, but Jimmy Johnson wants to get all of his best people on the field, just as he put Eddie Brown back on punt returns. Sutton doing a great job, had some problems earlier in the year, just outrunning the entire UCLA kickoff team.
Mark it at the Miami 38-yard line, first down. Here's Bratton. Bratton to the 40, the 45, and then bumped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. So he'll pick up 9. It'll be second down and 1. Ron Pitts knocked him out. Let's look at the players that we'll be highlighting throughout the game.
Some of the key players for Miami on the right, Heffernan, the right tackle, and Sinclair, and then Willie Smith and Eddie Brown. They're two receivers that are really playing well. On the other side, Tommy Taylor, James Washington, who made the sack, and then Neil Delicano, the other linebacker.
Stanley Shakespeare goes wide to the right, and Eddie Brown is open to the left. Second down and 1. You look for the running back. Probably Melvin Bratton on a short yardage, but let's see if we had jumping on the right side of the line. Movement by Alvin Ward. Chris Block of UCLA immediately came across to make contact. Probably a false start against the Hurricanes.
One thing that Kosar, Charlie, will do at the line of scrimmage, take a lot of time, look over the coverage, and will check off if he sees something he wants to check to. Not a lot of college quarterbacks will do that.
Movement on the defensive line offside, UCLA. The clock.
Referee Guy Gibbs, a little problem with the microphone not working, trying to read his lips. I tell you one thing, it was a dead ball foul. It was refused.
Obviously offsides on UCLA.
Couldn't have been offsides at UCLA. They would have refused it, but there was offsetting penalties. Possibly that was it. Here's Kosar with time, wanting to go deep. Scrambles out, he'll pick up the first down. He was looking deep and looking deep and looking deep. I don't think he ever looked short to see if anybody was open.
He had plenty of time to throw, Charlie. His offensive line. Take a look at 52, Dave Heffernan. You'll see why he gets so much time. They call themselves the Blitzbusters. Plenty of time to throw the ball. Good coverage downfield. Kosar hasn't scrambled very often and is not that good at it.
And Tony Phillips of Santa Monica, the junior for the Bruins, makes the tackle. 49-yard line of UCLA. First down for Miami. Kosar, complete right side. This is Shakespeare. He's got the first down and leans inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Herb Welch makes the tackle, a gain of 15 yards on the play. Kosar to Shakespeare, the senior from Boynton Beach.
34-yard line, where it's first down Hurricane. Mike Ryan, please meet your father at the Northeast.
And Shakespeare this year has not received the accolades as a receiver as Eddie Brown, an All-America, and Willie Smith, the tight end, a second-team All-America. But with Shakespeare in there, that means you can't double the other two men.
That's exactly right.
34-yard line, first down. Here's Oliver to the 20. Has a block down the sideline. He'll score. Darrell Oliver, 34 yards.
You got to give a lot of credit downfield to a great block by Eddie Brown, number 40. Good blocking up front to get him through, but you were talking about the explosiveness the University of Miami has. You're talking about their wide receivers in Shakespeare and Brown. They also have Oliver and Bratton in the backfield. That's why they're so explosive.
Holding for the play effort after
And now Greg Cox with an opportunity to tie it up. It is good. Darrell Oliver, the sophomore, with the opening touchdown for the Hurricanes.
Running to his left behind Berticelli and Moore. Sinclair with a good block. Watch the block by number 40 right there. Eddie Brown tying up Washington. Now he just a foot race to the end zone. We'll see it from the end zone. Nice big hole. Good blocking at the point of attack. And then it's a foot race. Darrell Oliver says, I can take all these I can get.
62 yards on the drive. In 4 plays, we are tied at 7 in the Fiesta Bowl. Minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the first period. We are tied at 7-7, UCLA and Miami. Darrell Oliver scoring from 34 yards away. Gaston Green, 4-yard line. Green to the 10, the 15, has a hope, ups it. He's to the 30, returns to the 34-yard line. 30 yards on the return by Gaston Green. Kenny Calhoun makes the tackle for Miami. So thus far, Bob, 2 explosive offensive clubs.
Well, and also the special teams have been explosive, especially for UCLA, returning the punt and then this kickoff, and Miami had a good kickoff return. I think it's a fact that they haven't been out here for 2 months playing, that their special teams are, as far as the coverage is concerned, is a little bit weak.
Here's Gaston Green. 36-yard line. He'll pick up a couple on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And number 45.
Ken Calhoun and George Myra Jr. were there for the defense.
Jimmy Johnson, the head coach of the University of Miami, Charlie, has got to be a little bit concerned about his defense. Overall, for the entire season, they played very well. The last 2 ball games against the University of Maryland and Boston College, they gave up 89 points. They're very concerned. It'll be interesting to see which defense shows up here today.
Mike Young coming in for David Clinton as a receiver for the Bruins. Play action fake by Bono, has pressure. Open over the middle of the pass is complete to Mike Young. Young has the first down. Flags are down on the play. It goes to the 47-yard line of Miami, but there was 1 flag back at the 31 and another flag dropped at the Miami 47-yard line. A gain of 18 yards on the play. Should it stand up? Guy Gibbs, the referee. Holding and face mask. Holding against the Bruins, a face mask against the Hurricanes.
Ball will be brought back to the 36-yard line.
The 36-yard line was the line of scrimmage.
2nd down.
So it's offsetting penalties. It'll be 2nd down and 8, and we'll do it one more time. Willie Anderson checks into the offensive set for the UCLA Bruins as a wide receiver. 2nd down and 8. The Bruins using their wide receivers as a messenger service. Bono, quarterback draw, lost his footing. He slipped just a little in the quarterback draw, and that gave the defense time to convert. And it was Julio Cortez that made the tackle at the 34-yard line, a loss of 2.
Terry Donahue saying that one of the keys to this ball game is this man right here, Steve Bono, has to play well. He's been injured part of the year. When he has played, they have won 7 of the 8 games he has started. He just slips on the quarterback draw. Big, strong, agile quarterback. Pro scouts think he's got a future in the National Football League, but he has to have a good day for the Bruins to stay in the ball game.
3rd down and 10 from the shotgun, Steve Bono. Has pressure from the outside, steps away, has more pressure, and it's incomplete. He was trying to pit anybody, and he ended up throwing it to his right guard, Jim McCullough. You're looking for any colored jersey at that point. He found the right jersey, but it had the wrong numbers. An ineligible receiver.
The numbers were a little bit too high.
Too high. Double 7s might be fine for Red Grange, but not in this case.
Well, here you see good protection. Now it's time. Now he says, I can't throw it over there. He's getting pressure. He sees that white jersey.
The interesting thing is McCullough made a pretty good catch and then realized, wait a minute.
Then he tried to shoo the ball away, get the ball away from him.
Like it never happened.
Yeah.
It never happened.
Yeah.
Here's a look at Jim. Junior, majoring in political science from Emmett, California. It'll be a loss of down on the penalty. And that means that Kevin Bonifay will be kicking, and Eddie Brown will be returning, and the Miami Hurricanes could have excellent field position. Bonifay with a 43.8-yard punting average. And very little wind to contend here today. Biggest thing is he's looking into the sun. Kicker, he gets a good one off. Fair catch is called for and taken at the 47-yard line of Miami. We have 6 minutes and 3 seconds left to go. We're in the first quarter of the Fiesta Bowl, the 14th edition, and we are tied 7-7. Kozar hands off to touchdown scoring Darrell Oliver. And Oliver has 3 yards to the 50-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Ron Butler makes the tackle for the UCLA Bruins. He's in as an outside linebacker, the senior from Greenville, North Carolina.
Terry Donahue was saying that what he needs to do is contain Bernie Kosar. They cannot get into a high-scoring match against this team. Their offense is not there. Their strength is in their kickers, John Lee, the All-American, and Bunafé. They hope to play field position, make Kosar go a long way, maybe make a mistake.
Here's a good look at the eyes of a quarterback, Bernie Kosar. To Melvin Bratton. Bratton is cut off outside, makes a good spin, turn, but dropped to the 50-yard line. No gain, and David Randall, the senior from Dallas, Texas, brings him down. It'll be 3rd down and 7. That means that Kosar will be putting the ball in the air.
Melvin Bratton came in and played late in the season after Highsmith was hurt, Alonzo Highsmith, and really it's going to be exciting for the University of Miami next year when they have both Highsmith and Bratton in the same backfield, because 2 exciting runners for the University of Miami.
And Bratton had 134 yards and 4 touchdowns in that classic game against Boston College. 3rd down and 7, 50-yard line. Kosar throwing, the blitz is coming, has the blocking, looping pass, it is incomplete. Shakespeare, the intended receiver. The problem was the sun. You can tell from the shadows that when he looked back, he was looking back directly into the sun, but a perfect pass by Kosar.
Exactly. The same blitz that they used the last time. Bernie says, I got to get out of here. No, my men picked it up. Now he puts the ball right on the money, as you said, and he's looking right back into the sun. Bernie thought he had it, and then it dropped the ball. But looking back into the sun. The problem being, they used that same blitz again, UCLA did. This time they picked it up.
Rick Tootin will be punting, and Ron Bitts is sent for the return. His father, the great Elijah Bitts, played, of course, for the Green Bay Packers. And Bitts with one excellent punt return to his credit in this ball game. Feels this one on the bounce, and he'll down it right at the 12-yard line. 38 yards on the kick. We're tied at 7-7 with 4:28 left to go in the first quarter. Here again is a look of Kosar to Shakespeare. The sun interferes. We'll be back in just a moment. Little bobble on the exchange. The handoff to Gaston Green, and he pops it for 8 yards to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Ken Calhoun, the roverback, is the man who made the tackle for the Miami Hurricanes. Gaston Green, 5'11", 190-pound freshman, not a redshirt, regular freshman, 5.3-yard rushing average, 134 yards against USC. And he in, of course, because the injury to Danny Andrews. And he is a good one. Here's Brian Wiley, the fullback, going for the first down. Needed a couple of yards. May have picked up only one. Victor Morris with the tackle.
And talking with Terry Donahue, he says he's got a couple other good running backs. Primus is one, and a fella named Hall. They think they all 3 can be. They may go to the wishbone next year with all those running backs, Charlie.
Gaston Green, 7 carries, 34 yards, and the touchdown. 7-7 tie here in the Fiesta Bowl. And then it's on to Dick and Merlin, the Rose Bowl. Don Crickey and the Trump in the Orange Bowl. 3rd down and 1. Here is Green, and the defense is there. May lose a yard. It'll be 4th down and 2 as Derwin Jones, a freshman from Northwest Christian High School in Miami, along with the junior Kevin Fagan from Lake Worth, the strongest man on the team of the Hurricanes, makes the stop, and that means that Kevin Bunafé will be kicking.
Derwin Jones, number 86, an interesting story. Last year, as you said, Northwest Christian in Miami, which is a Class A school, playing against the likes of Class A offensive tackles. This year he played against Freilich from Pittsburgh, and now he's playing against Duval Love, the 2nd-team All-American for UCLA. Quite a jump in 1 year.
Here's the kick. It's a beauty this time. Brown feels it, bobbles it, picks it up at the 33, steps away, has a block, another block to the 45, to the 50, needs 2 more blocks, has one, waits for the other one, he gets it, he scores.
Jimmy Johnson said he wanted some more excitement in his returns. He put Sutton on the kickoff returns, and Eddie Brown, his first career punt return for a touchdown.
68 yards. And the Hurricanes out in front, and now Greg Cox will attempt the point after. Rick Tootin to hold. The Hurricanes a man short. Here he joins. Flags will be down as there will be an illegal procedure for the 11th man in motion. He was running towards the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. As Miami ended up with only 10 men on the field, and the lone man, it'll be motion.
Illegal motion on the play.
He was trying to get there in time, but he just couldn't quite make it. And ironically, if he would have stopped and had not been in motion.
Well, obviously, something like that is inexcusable. They go over these special teams so much, but you got to believe that the problem being they haven't played a game in 2 months, so some of these players, they haven't been in the routine. They practiced this week. Some of the time they practiced indoors because there was some rain in the area, and they're just not as sharp as they normally would be at the end of the season.
We don't want to spread it around, but we believe it was number 87, Alfredo Roberts, but let's just keep that between us. Yeah. We don't want to embarrass it. Here's the long extra point attempt, and it's still good. So it is Miami 14, UCLA 7 on a 68-yard punt return by Eddie Brown.
You're going to see Eddie Brown fumble the ball a little bit. This causes UCLA to relax just enough. Eddie Brown has the speed, gets a good block right there. Now Myra, number 45, Reggie Sutton, number 1, gets a block. He's going to cut back right here off of Myra's block, and he's into the end zone. You know, Terry Donahue has enough problems with Kosar in their offense. He doesn't need their special teams scoring any points.
So Miami out in front by a score of 14-7, 2:18. That is the time remaining as we take a look across the Valley of the Sun.
You know, that shot on the bench of the University of Miami players having a good time. Eddie Brown was there. Mel Bratton right next to him. Reminds me earlier in the week they've having a good time, too, at the Steak Fry, Charlie. They had an impromptu talent show, and Melvin got all of his buddies up on stage, and they were all dancing. The only problem was Alonzo Highsmith, who has a brace on his leg from an operation, got up there, too. Jimmy Johnson said, "What are you doing up there?" He says, "I was only dancing from the waist up."
So, yeah, just from the waist up. The kickoff sails through the end zone. Now, if it did not run to the end zone and carry through the end zone on the fly, that means the ball will come out to the 30-yard line, and that will be the ruling. And UCLA will have the ball on their own 30-yard line, first down.
I think that's a rule, Charlie, that a lot of the colleges around the country are not very happy with, because it really penalizes a kicker like Cox for kicking the ball well. And I think that's one of the things a lot of them want to take a look at in the offseason.
In this case, Mark Seelig, who kicks off along with Cox, who does some of the kicking off, not that much, but extra points and field goal. Steve Bono has completed 2 of 4 for 33 yards passing for UCLA. The Bruins trail by 7 from their own 30-yard line. Little play action fake. He goes deep, has the man open. It's Sherrard. Can he get there? No. Mike Sherrard was behind the defender, and that was Reggie Sutton that he beat on the play. And Sherrard has been averaging 16.7 yards per reception.
It's a good call. Great call by Homer Smith, the offensive coordinator. First down, play action. Bono has plenty of time. The ball is, well, we don't see it on that shot. The ball is just overthrown, but he needs to get some big completions early to get his confidence built up.
Second down and 10, jumping by the defense, and then a telephone tackle, reach out and touch someone. And the officials will sort it out.
I think really, Charlie, the reason for the sloppy play early in the game is because they haven't played a game in 2 months, and both teams have been inside practicing indoors, I think 2 or 3 times this week. They are just not as sharp as they should be at this point.
And then add to that it is the Fiesta Bowl, and so you're keyed up, and there's adrenaline is flowing, and it's not...
well, they haven't hit anybody.
That's right.
In a while.
And now they're hitting and being hit at the same time. Dead ball foul encroachment will move the ball to the 35-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 5 at the 35. Mike Young goes wide to the far side. Derek Tennell is the tight end on the right side. The Bruins with a 2 tight end set. Little play action fake off of a running formation. Incomplete. Should have been caught. Tennell had it right in his arm. And he can turn on the speed in high school. He ran the quarter mile in a 49.2.
Well, this has got to be very frustrating for Terry Donahue on the sideline and for Homer Smith, the offensive coordinator. 2 good calls. The first down play, he had his man open, and the ball was overthrown. That time, on a 2nd down play, a good call. He had his man open, the throw was there, and then the man drops. Somebody's got to make some plays for the Bruins.
3rd down and 5. Miami leading 14-7. Knocked away. Good defensive play as Julio Cortez hit his arm, Bono's arm. The ball popped loose. Jerome Brown was trying to fall on it right there. Or was it Jerome Brown that made the play? But the Bruins recovered it, and that means the kicking team will come in. But good defensive play by Miami. Let's take another look at it.
It was an option play. He was going to go down the line, and right there the ball is knocked out. I couldn't see who knocked the ball out, but that was going to be the old option with Bono down the line. It looked like to be number 92, Winston Moss.
Kevin Bonifay kicking to Eddie Brown, and Eddie Brown the last time he fielded a bunt with 68 yards for the touchdown to the up back of the gap, and it pays off first down. Brian Wiley, the up back. A pickup of at least 10 yards. They'll mark it to the 45. It goes for a gain of 10 and a first down.
Gutsy call by Terry Donahue. 4th down, deep in your own end zone, in your own territory from about the 35. Picks up a first down. I don't know if he was playing for the Rose Bowl championship or for the Pac-10 championship if he'd used this, but certainly
he's playing for the Fiesta Bowl title, and he's doing
fun. He's going to do it.
Here's Gaston Gray, and he will lose a couple of yards on the play as Kevin Fagan makes the tackle.
One of the players we said we'd be looking at today, Kevin Fagan, number 95. Hitting the best part of Hartmeyer. You'll see him right here. 63 is Hartmeyer trying to hook him. Fagan gets outside the block and makes the play. Just a junior. Should be one of the leaders of that defense next year.
They spot the ball at the 42-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 13. Just over 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Bruins trail by 7. Play action fake by Bono. Has time. Good protection. Ricocheted through the hands of the first receiver, off of the chest of the second receiver, and then almost intercepted by Ken Calhoun. It was Young, Francois, and Calhoun, and an incomplete pass. And not necessarily in that order.
One of the problems there was both receivers seemed to be in the same line of flight. As you'll see him hesitate, ball goes over one receiver and right to the other. Now you tell me, Charlie, who he was throwing to, huh?
Sherrard says he was throwing to Young. Young says he was throwing to Sherrard.
But that's the problem when you have 2 receivers in the same line of flight. You need to spread them out across the field.
3rd down and 13. Pressure, steps forward. Underneath, the pass is complete to the 49-yard line of Miami, but it will still be about 4 yards shy of the first down. James Primus, the freshman from National City in the San Diego area, was on the receiving end, and John McVeigh of Columbus High School in Miami, along with Bruce Fleming from Western Pennsylvania, makes the tackle as the first quarter comes to a close, with Miami out in front of UCLA 14-7. At the 14th annual Fiesta Bowl Classic, Sun Devil Stadium, Tempe, Arizona. The Miami Hurricanes leading the UCLA Bruins 14-7. And Kevin Bonifay will be kicking to Eddie Brown. Brown, as you know, if you've been with us in the ball game, has a 68-yard punt return for a touchdown. Signals for a fair catch, looks in the sun, and fields it at the 13-yard line. Good kick by the senior from Tulare, Kevin Bonifay, 35 yards, but he was just hanging it up and letting it come down at the 13. Bob, let's look at the statistics in the first quarter.
Kosar and Miami have really not thrown the ball a lot. rather going with their running game to establish that. And I think UCLA has shown them a couple things they weren't ready for. I think maybe now they've adjusted a little bit. They went after them with some safety blitzes, did UCLA, and I think now they're more ready to throw some in the second quarter.
Miami using the run to establish the pass, use the pass to establish the pass. This one is complete. Going to the tight end, Willie Smith, and Smith pulls it down at the 22-yard line. It'll be a yard shy of the first down. It'll be second down and 1. Tommy Taylor, Freight Train Taylor, the first man there, and the strong safety Craig Rutledge was the second man for the Bruins. Willie Smith, number 84, the tight end for the Hurricanes, one of the men that Bob will be highlighting in the game, as second-team All-America from Jacksonville. 66 receptions for 852 yards, tied for 6th in receiving among major colleges in the NCAA. Second down and 1. And there is jumping by the Bruins. Flags are in the air, as is the pass, and it is complete to Stanley Shakespeare. Dennis Price with the tackle.
Bernie Kosar checking off on the play, looking out to see the corner playing way off of Stanley Shakespeare. Checked off to a little quick out. The long cadence and the inflection of his voice pulling off the UCLA Bruins. He is set up, good quick setup. 3, 4, 5 steps, rolls a little bit away from the safety, number 49. That's Phillips, the linebacker. Kosar just very intelligent.
We have Kosar cameras today.
He sees it. He can feel him coming. You feel the linebacker coming from the backside. You know, people ask me, how does a quarterback do that? You don't know. You can't see him, but you just feel like somebody's coming from that side. I think it's a sixth sense or something. Once you get hit by that guy a few times, then you know he's going to be coming, and your sense works, I'll tell you.
The penalty refused. They take the play to the 27-yard line and the first down. Is to Bratton, and Bratton is shut down at the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 3. It'll be second down and 7. David Randall, the first man to get to him. The second man was number 41, Ken Norton Jr., freshman from Westchester High School. He was a running back in high school, and of course in Los Angeles, and his father the former heavyweight champion of the world. Second down and 7.
Terry Donahue was saying about Norton that he is really going to be a fine football player.
And Bratton are the running backs for Miami. Kosar has pressure, has to get rid of it, does to Brown. Brown makes a good move. Another one comes inside, 44-yard line, 14 yards on the play and a first down. Kosar had pressure, had to get rid of the ball, and Eddie Brown starts his moves almost before he catches the ball.
Well, he's working on a freshman for number 6, Price. Kosar checked off. When you saw the back move from the I formation out of it, he saw number 6 is Price. Eddie Brown, a little quick out, and then his running ability picks up about 10 more yards. But the 2 wide receivers have man-to-man coverage. You'll see him playing off of him right there. And I suspect if they don't start doubling the 2 wide receivers, you're going to see a lot of catches by the wide receivers.
Tommy Taylor makes the tackle. It is a first down at the Miami 44-yard line. Kosar on target into good defensive protection. Willie Smith, the tight end, caught it at the UCLA 49-yard line. A gain of 7. Tommy Taylor was there, along with Ron Pitts.
But Taylor had good coverage, Charlie, but he just didn't see the ball coming. Willie Smith saw it and caught it. If Taylor would have seen it, he could have cut in front for the interception.
Gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3. What's the eyes of Bernie Kosar?
Looking to his left the entire time. Now, some patterns you can get away with that on, and others you can't. You see the tight coverage. He was kind of sliding over in case Taylor saw it and cut in front.
Here's the draw. Bratton, good defensive play. No gain. It'll be third down and 3 as Melvin Bratton is brought down by Chris Block, the nose guard, and Doug Wassel, the red-shirted freshman from Georgetown, Pennsylvania. Wassel now in for Mark Whalen. It'll be third down and 3, and we'll have massive defensive substitutions for the Bruins. Basically, they're putting in their pass rush defense.
Well, they made 6 substitutions, Charlie, and I don't think there's any way Bernie Kosar can sort all that out. But the one thing he does, if you can't sort it out, and tell it intelligently, he'll just say, well, I'm just going to throw to the man that's open. And that's sometimes the best way to do it.
Bruins show blitz, four-man count. Kozar swing pass to Bratton. Bratton to the 50, cuts back. Picks up a couple of yards after being hit at the 47 to the 45-yard line. And that should be enough for the first down. The officials will stop the clock. They want to take a quick look, and then they may want to bring the chains out. Yes, they will. We have 11 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the first half. Miami out in front of UCLA by a score of 14-7. UCLA scoring first on a 51-yard drive in 7 plays. Gaston Green, the freshman, going in from 6 yards out. Miami countered with a 62-yard drive in 4 plays. Darrell Oliver scoring from long range, 34 yards away. But then the game breaker, Eddie Brown, a 68-yard punt return to put Miami on top by a score of 14-7. And as you see, it is a first down for the Hurricanes.
Jimmy Johnson a little bit relieved that his team is out in front and back on even keel. He was a little bit upset earlier in the week that his defense was not playing as well as it could. I think next year you're going to see a little bit of change. You're going to see more of Jimmy Johnson's defense in this Hurricane team. He came in late. He came in June. Really didn't have an opportunity to put his philosophy into that defense.
Just outside the Bruins' 45-yard line, first down. Kozar looking left, throwing left, tight end Willie Smith catches it at the 44-yard line, and that's where they'll mark it. It'll be a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. But Ron Pitts, the senior from Orchard Park, was there. Good play.
Good close-up look at Bernie looking to his left the entire time. Double coverage on the outside, but I tell you got to be careful when you look, because sometimes you can telegraph where you're going to throw the football. The corner on this play, Pitts, was doubling on the wide receiver, and when he saw the ball, he came up and made the hit.
Miami started this drive back at their own 13-yard line, now inside the Bruins 44. Kozar throws, tight end Willie Smith again, this time a little high, and it's incomplete. Ron Butler, the outside linebacker on that side, picked him up, 3rd down and 9. And now 6 substitutions for the Bruins as they'll be looking defensively at a 3rd and 9 and Kozar throwing.
Bernie setting up deep, reads double coverage on the outside. His 2 wide receivers are double covered. That time he goes his tight end, but you can see good pass protection for Kozar.
Visually, who does he remind you of in the pros as a throwing quarterback?
Well, I don't know. I think he's got his own farm chart. I don't think he's real smooth. He just gets it done.
3rd down, just over 8 yards to go, or just under 9. You can look at it either way. And we've got flags and whistles. Guy Gibbs is the referee. John Bradley the umpire. Phil Euler is the linesman. William Schmitz is the head linesman. John Cobb the field judge. George Lloyd the back judge. And they're out of the WAC conference.
Ball will be brought back to the 48-yard line.
Delay of game. Violation of the 25-second clock. So it'll be 3rd down and 13. A gorgeous day in the Valley of the Sun as NBC opens our bowl coverage with fun, sun in Pasadena, and then on to number 1 in the Orange Bowl. Here's Kozar. He wants to set deep. He does set deep and goes deep. There's coverage, though. Is it intercepted or caught? It's a touchdown. Brian Blades, 48 yards into all kinds of coverage. And for the redshirt freshman from Fort Lauderdale, that is his first touchdown in college.
You think he isn't happy about it? Bernie going over and congratulating him. Blades hasn't played a whole lot this year, Charlie. He's getting an opportunity to play in this ball game, and certainly next year when the 2 wide receivers, Shakespeare and Brown, graduate, there'll be a lot of wide receivers wanting to get with this man right here.
An 87-yard drive for Miami, a 48-yard touchdown pass. On the extra point attempt by Greg Cox, there are flags everywhere and whistles sounding.
Flag on play.
Illegal procedure against the offense.
Good close look up at Kozar. This time looks to his right, and then he's moving the weak safety around with his looking to his right, then throws back to the left. Now look at Blades. He sees the ball all the way and then takes it away from the other defender that comes over there late.
Now the ruling on it, if it's a simultaneous catch such as this, it goes to the offense.
Exactly.
If it's a tie, the offense wins. Here is Cox to attempt the point after. And his extra points are exciting because they're all long. It is good. 21-7. Miami out in front of UCLA. Here's another look.
Kind of labors getting back, but once he throws it, he gets creamed, but he's looking. He knows he's got a good chance of making a completion. Look at him looking all the way. Good things are coming.
87 yards on the drive in 10 plays. The touchdown pass to the freshman Brian Blades covered 48 yards. Turn the Hurricanes out in front of the UCLA Bruins by a score of 21-7. Mark Seelig will be kicking off. Sophomore, 5'11", 183 pounds, to either Gaston Green or Bob Garibaldi. And he sails this one. Garibaldi takes it at the 1-yard line. Bob's father, also named Bob, was a pitcher with the San Francisco Giants. A return of 22 yards to the 23-yard line. So UCLA needs to generate some offense to get back in the ballgame.
Ball will be placed down on the 23-yard line. Run back at 22 yards on the kickoff.
Quarterback Steve Bono with Gaston Green, who scored the Bruins touchdown from 6 yards out. And Brian Wiley as the running backs. Basically Mike Young and Mike Sherrard outside. Derek Tennell, the tight end. We'll also see Al Wilson and Paco Craig in as wide receivers. David Clinton has been in as a wide receiver. Earl Smith is a tight end. Pass is complete, and it will pick up about 4 yards on the play. The senior, Mike Young, on the receiving end. And Ken Calhoun makes the tackle.
To this point, Charlie, Steve Bono has been a little, seems to me to be a little unsettled. He is not moving around as smoothly as he would like. He seems to be feeling his way. I think he needs more confidence, and those types of short passes, even though they're short, their completions should help to settle him down.
It goes for a gain of 5 to the 28, so it's 2nd down and 5. Here's Gaston Green, first down. He can do it. Look at the freshman fly.
If you put the ball in the hands of your big play men enough times, they're going to make some big plays for you. And certainly Gaston Green, with that speed, has a threat to go all the way anytime he gets the ball. He's already 103 yards. We're not even halfway through the second quarter.
The point after, and UCLA pulls within 7 of Miami. 21-14, 9:14 left to go in the first half.
Number 67, Duval Love, the second-team All-American with a key block. You saw Gaston Green go right by him, and now we'll take another look. You just don't catch Fullington 19. He's not going to catch that kind of speed.
And Gaston Green has scored 2 touchdowns. He has rushed for 103 yards in 10 carries, averaging 10 yards a carry. We'll be back. Green with a new Fiesta Bowl record, 72 yards. And the touchdown. 21-14. Miami out in front of UCLA. And Ken Potter will be kicking off. Reggie Sutton is the deep back with Steve Staffier and Darrell Oliver off on the wings. Reggie Sutton, he will down it 8 yards deep in the end zone. So Miami will go to work on their own 20-yard line first down. We mentioned that Gaston Green has the new Fiesta Bowl record. The record he breaks 1980. Penn State, Ohio State, The old record was 64 yards. It's set for the great Kurt Warner now with the Seattle Seahawks. Warner, by the way, well on his way to recovery from the knee problem that he had. And here's a look at the record. This is the new one. 72 yards. Gaston Green, the Bruins of UCLA. Only a freshman. Oh, he is going to be a superstar.
A lot of excitement there for him in the next 4 years.
Miami at their own 20-yard line. Miami leading by 7. 24, Warren Williams in for Darrell Oliver is the ball carrier for Miami. Neil Delicano, the first man there for the defense, and Dennis Price was the second.
Pick up a 4 yards on the play. Ball plays down.
Let's mark the ball at the 24-yard line. It'll be second down and 6. And, of course, from here we'll be going on to the Rose Bowl and then to the Orange Bowl in Miami, what could be a game for number 1. And NBC Sports with a telephone poll of the voters for Associated Press. They've got something interesting to convey about that ball game and the matchup. Here's Warren Williams again. Bob Costas at halftime. We'll be talking about that as Williams picks up 3 yards, and it'll be third down and about 4. Lee Knowles and Chris Block make the stop. Bob, you're a member of the Orange Bowl committee. You feel that that's the battle for number 1?
Well, I think it should be up to the writers and the people that vote for it. And I think that the survey that they're going to talk about at halftime is going to be very interesting. I know they polled all of the writers that are going to vote, and it should be a very interesting halftime with Bob Costas.
But all of my friends at BYU, I'm for you. Okay, you were 13-0. That's great. And the coaches poll, they're liable to vote for either. We could have a split. We'll just have to wait and see how it comes out. Willie Smith on the receiving end. Willie will pick up the first down. Bob Costas will be sorting all of this out at halftime. What it really means is that you can gather, as we'll look at Kozar, you can gather 4 people on a street corner, and all of their alma maters can be number 1. No, we're not going to look at Bernie Kozar. It is a first down for Miami, and the high-powered Hurricane offense is underway once again. Moving from the 20 to the 32-yard line, still in their own territory, going into the sun. Very little wind, a beautiful sun-drenched day here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Fun sun, and then number 1 on NBC, but right now it's Warren Williams as he goes to the 37-yard line, picks up 5, second down 5. Craig Rutledge, the strong safety, and James Washington, the free safety, make the tackle. We're moving on the 7-minute mark, time remaining in the first half.
UCLA has really had a good year, Charlie, and I think the strength of their team has been not only their kicking game, but their defense with Delicono, number 39, and Tommy Taylor, 42. And as we say, they're the ones that really set the tempo for the game for the Bruins.
Second down and 5. The Miami Magician, Bernie Kozar, the quarterback. Blitz from the outside. Dumps it off, saw the blitz and got rid of it, and completes the pass to Brian Blades. Blades with the glue fingers as he displayed on his touchdown reception. Ron Pitts for the defense.
The thing about Kozar, he's not real graceful, he's not real fluid, but he sees everything that's going on. He's a little herky-jerky getting back in his motion, but the results are there.
He is a speed reader of defenses, isn't he?
Well, he's a candidate for a Rhodes Scholar. He's a 3.36 on a 4.0, so not only does he have ability, but he's got the mind for it.
Here is Bratton leaning for the first down. It'll be close. He had to get to the 42, and he is in that area. Ken Norton Jr. along with Craig Rutledge were there for the UCLA Bruins. You talked about the grade point average, academic All-American Bernie Kozar. You mentioned it, 3.36. Aptly so. His major is finance. I like that.
Business and finance. And if he elects to stay at the University of Miami for 2 more years, which he has said that he will, and when he comes out and signs with the pros, I think that business and finance background will probably do him very well in his negotiations.
Very competitive young man, is highlighted at the end of the Boston College game when Miami was going in for their last score. He wanted to play football. He wanted to run right at him. First down for Miami on their own 42-yard line. Miami leading UCLA by 7, 21-14. Kozar, both backs in the block, pass far side. Flag is down. The pass is complete, but there was a marker on the play. Stanley Shakespeare on the receiving end, and Ron Pitts was there along with Craig Rutledge for the Bruins. We'll go back now and check out the flag. It'll be against the Miami offense for illegal use of the hands. The Bruins showing an explosive offense of their own, with Gaston Green scoring their 2 touchdowns from 6 yards and 72 yards away.
And it's kind of unusual, and I know all the UCLA alumni and fans will realize this, that we've not seen John Lee other than 2 extra points. We've played a quarter and a half. Normally, he's kicked 2 or 3 field goals by this point. I think they're very happy that they've got the 2 touchdowns instead of the 2 field goals.
John Lee setting an NCAA record of 29 field goals this last year, and he is a good one. I mean, really a good one. Kozar wanted to set the screen, and the pass is dropped by Warren Williams. He was trying to set the screen. It was infiltrated for the Bruins. He was then scrambling, and then sidearmed him to Williams, who couldn't hold on.
Infiltrated by number 78, Block, who followed the center out there. As we'll see, Kozar setting up. Now he's looking to his left. He says, it's all right that I'm going back. Now he can't get rid of the ball. Throws it away. But Block, number 78, the nose tackle, followed the center out into the screen.
Frank Batchkoff was also there, the sophomore from South Reseda.
And you see the white jersey, number 78, out with all the orange ones.
Second down and 15. Pressure coming from the outside by the Bruins defense. Kozar has to get rid of it. It'll be 3rd down and 15. 37-yard line. Eddie Brown, the closest receiver. The Miami head coach, Jimmy Johnson, first year with the Hurricanes. The record is 8-4. He was with Oklahoma State for 5 years. Captain at the University of Arkansas, the Razorbacks' 1964 national championship team, all Southwest Conference, as a nose guard. And the year before, he went both ways, offensive guard and as a defensive nose guard. That's before they made the rule changes. His nickname at the University of Arkansas was Smiley. always with a smile. 3rd down, 15. Kozar steps forward all the time in the world. Deep coverage is good, drops it off to Bratton, and Bratton goes out of bounds at around the 47-yard line. Let's see where the official will mark it. He'll mark it at the 47, a gain of 10. It'll be 4th down and 5, and that means that Rick Tootin will come in to kick for Miami. Herb Welch was there for the defense.
You know, Charlie, you were talking about Jimmy Johnson. It's been a tough job that he's done, and he said that I don't know if I've ever been through a season with so many highs and lows of the magnitude that we've had this year. They won the game, the kickoff classic against Auburn. They were the only team to beat the University of Florida. But then the tremendous losses at the end of the season, the emotional highs and lows.
To Maryland and BC.
Yes, it's been a tough year for him.
David Clinton and Ron Pitts are back as the returners for UCLA. And fair catch is called for by David Clinton. Bernie Kozar of Miami said, when I went to college, I always wanted to play the best teams in the country, but I didn't want to play them 4 weeks in a row. We've got a timeout, and Miami leads by 7. We'll be back. First half of the 14th annual Fiesta Bowl Classic. Miami out in front of UCLA by 7, 21-14. Bruins have the ball. First down at their own 16-yard line. Bono stepping away from pressure. The pass is complete to Gaston Green, and Green is horse collar down the sideline, but stepped out at the 23-yard line. They're going to mark it, so it's a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Gaston Green with a 6-yard and a 72-yard touchdown.
I don't blame him. I'd get the ball to Green as much as I could. I'd hand it to him. I'd throw it to him. But a good call, first down play action. And talking with Donahue yesterday, he doesn't even get involved with the play-by-play calls, just the tempo of the game. Run on first down and then throw someone first.
Greg Francois comes in at fullback, and Wiley comes out. 2nd down and 3. Francois, the ball carrier. And he just keeps churning, but will come up a yard short of the first down. He has 2 to the 25. Kevin Fagan with the tackle. Will be 3rd down and 1. Terry Donahue, head coach, UCLA. His record this year was 8-3. They're making their 2nd appearance here in the Fiesta Bowl. Back in 1978, they tied the University of Arkansas by a score of 10-10. Look at this man. He was a defensive tackle for the Bruins in the mid-60s. I asked you about that at the ball the other night, and he said we've upgraded our recruiting since then. 3rd down and 1. We'll have to sort out the whole pile to see if they did pick up the first down. Officials will stop the clock. Now the Bruins have gambled already in the ball game on 4th down. I mentioned that just in case they didn't pick it up here, and they did not pick it up here. And they gamble from punt formation. 4th down. So it is 4th down and a yard. And Bonifay will be coming in supposedly to kick. Brian Wiley is the up back. He is there either as the blocking back or in case there would be a fake. They'll go with a kick. Left-footed kicker boots it away. Here's a good one. Stanley Shakespeare on the return, giving ground. He's in trouble, and he'll be dropped at the 15-yard line. A 55-yard kick by Kevin Bonifay. A flag dropped on the play.
We're going to have a late hit on Josh Shinnick, number 32. You know, UCLA, Charlie, has a lot of father-son combinations of ex-professional athletes. Josh Shinnick, the son of Don Shinnick, who used to play for the Baltimore Colts. We've already talked about.
He also played for the Bruins in college, yes.
Bruins, and Ken Norton's son, who is playing, and George Myra Jr. Of course, playing. George Myra was a great athlete, great quarterback at the University of Miami, and on with the played for the San Francisco 49ers.
And we mentioned Ron Pitts, the son of Elijah, and also Kirk Alexander, the brother of Kermit Alexander. So a lot of friends and family involved on both teams.
I like that Alexander matchup. Got a brother and a son.
Kermit's son, so that means that an uncle and a nephew are on the same team. That's right, because young Kelton Alexander is a member of the Bruins. We've got a timeout as we sort out 14. Miami has the ball on their own 8-yard line, first down. Kozar, a little play action, has pressure from behind, dropped at the 1-yard line. Sacked by Mark Whalen. Second sack of the ball game for the Bruins.
Whalen is probably at the top of your screen, probably the best pass rusher on this team. Kosar waiting for his man to come off of the corner, and I want to tell you, that hurts. He didn't see him coming. There was no sixth sense about that blind side. And this is where you really can feel it when you get hit from the blind side. I'm surprised he didn't cough up the football.
Close to being a safety or a fumble and a touchdown. Kozar rolling right, throwing. Willie Smith juggled, incomplete. Tight end. Intended receiver Craig Rutledge was the first man there. James Washington was the second man there for the Bruins. It'll be 3rd down and 17 back at the Miami 1-yard line. And the Bruins, after being down in the ballgame by 14 points, are right back in it.
Kosar, not last 5 years, they've had an All-American center. Kenny Easley had that position, was All-American for 3 years. And then Don Rogers had it for 2 years, All-American. James Washington, a good athlete.
Kozar with pressure, throws, incomplete. And the pressure was put on by Neil Delacano. And the vocal Bruins in the crowd here, just an hour's flight away from Los Angeles.
Cano with 9 sacks coming into the ball game. He makes the big plays for him. He's a third-team All-American, one of the players that has to play well for that defense if they're going to get some things done.
Rick Tootin now right at the back edge of the end zone. He cannot step back. It'll be a safety. Low kick, there's pressure. It will be a safety. Low snap.
Charlie, the whole tempo of this game has changed with that last series. The UCLA defense just pushing back the Miami offense and then actually pushing him out of the end zone. As we'll see the snap right here. You can't tell from that shot whether he stepped on the line, but there wasn't much blocking up front for Tootin.
Alan Dial among the many Bruins putting the pressure.
Like calling opening the doors. You can have this job. I don't want to punt.
Scott Franklin was also there for UCLA.
You think those punters have easy jobs?
Kelton Alexander, who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody else was there, too, for the white jerseys. So it is a 21-16 ball game. Miami still leads, and they have a free kick opportunity here with David Clinton and Ron Pitts set to return. And Rick Tootin will be punting, and he'll be punting from the 20-yard line. Not that good a catch. To the 40-yard line on the return. 19 is David Clinton. And UCLA with excellent field position. Kenny Blades with the tackle. The Bruins are on the move, and we'll be back. The junior from Columbia, Missouri, officially credited with the safety for the Bruins. And UCLA now has the ball on the Miami 47-yard line. Here's Gaston Green, and he'll pick up a yard to the 46. It'll be second down and 9 as Jerome Brown upended him. Later in today's game, Bob Griese and I will be selecting the outstanding player of the game from each team. And we'll be making an announcement at the end of the game, and Toyota will donate a total of $1,000 to each of the school's general scholarship fund. Here's Bono with pressure. Here's Green. Green to the 40, Green to the 35, Green to the 32-yard line. 14 yards and a first down. Lucius Delegal with the tackle.
It's good heads-up play by Bono. He had nobody downfield, opened up. Instead of losing his composure, he steps aside, finds Green, and then he avoids some tacklers and gets a nice gain.
The ball just outside the 32-yard line. There's the time remaining, minute 52 and counting. Bono's pass is incomplete. I think a little mix-up. I believe he was going to Tunnell, and I am not sure that Tunnell realized it. But it'll be second down and 10. Officially, they mark at the 33-yard line.
Tunnell's only caught 20 passes this year. They don't throw a lot to him, and they had one of the wide receivers right behind him, and I think he could say, well, I want to stay out of the way.
Gaston Green on the sidelines.
There you go, right there.
I think he thought that Mike Young, number 18, is for whom the pass was intended, whom the bell tolls.
Was throwing it to the tight end, Tunnell.
Bono, pressure from behind. Comeback screen. Tunnell. Good defensive play by Miami. Bruce Fleming makes the tackle.
And as far as Bono is concerned, that's one completion he'd rather just not have had, because after he throws this ball, he gets decked. Rolls one way, a little screen back the other way.
Don't you like to look around and say, ooh, wait a minute.
This is not the way we run it in practice.
We've got a timeout on the field with 1:35 left. Bob Greasy, 1:35 to go in the first half in the Fiesta Bowl. Miami leading by 5, 21-16. UCLA 3rd down and 11. Bono going deep into coverage, and it is incomplete. Mike Sherrard, the intended receiver. It will be 4th down and 11. And John Lee is coming in with a field goal attempt. From the 41-yard line, we'll go back to the battle and then to the field goal attempt.
Willie Lee Broughton, number 80, fighting off of McCullough, number 77, puts the pressure right there. If he had a little bit more time, I think he could have had the completion because he needed to wait just a second longer to leave the receiver get open.
Leading kick scorer in the NCAA with 104 points. His longest this year, 51 yards. This is a 51-yard attempt. His career long is 52. Will it carry? It does!
All-American kicker. We said a little earlier, Charlie, we're a little surprised we haven't seen him up to this point. They scored 16 points, and only 2 of those, the extra points, were any of his. That's a little bit unusual, as we'll take another look.
And scoring the 6th place.
And with the confidence, he walks, he knew he had it.
He's only missed 4 all year, and that man is one good kicker.
We'll be back.
Bernie Kosar quarterbacked the Miami Hurricanes to the national championship last year. He's an expert when it comes to winning when the odds are against him.
Winning the national championship last season was a sensation that I'll never forget. The high I experienced was a feeling I wish everyone could feel. It gave me that so-called perfect feeling of euphoria, self-pride, and confidence in myself. Give sports a chance. I think it'll be worth your while. Get high on sports, not drugs.
The preceding message was furnished by the Fiesta Bowl and the NCAA. John Lee with a 51-yard successful field goal. Ken Potter to kick off. The deep back is Reggie Sutton. And Sutton from 5 yards deep is going to run it out. Hit at the 13, bounces away. He's to the 20 and returns to the 24-yard line.
On the tackle, number 32, Josh.
Herb Welsh is the man who made the stop along with Josh Shinnick. There is another look. It just barely clears. Let's see if we can.
Oh, just barely.
Just barely.
He gets the ball so high it comes down. But, you know, going back to that last series, the University of Miami offense, UCLA's defense pushing him out of the end zone, the block punt, 2 points on the safety to force the punt. Then they get a field goal out of it, so as it turns out, it's a 5-point play for the UCLA defense coming back strong.
21-19, Miami leads, and UCLA is clawing their way back. Here's Kosar. Pressure from behind. Heads for the sidelines, and he makes it.
Eventually.
He is not that quick, is he?
Bernie does not have a lot of foot speed by his own admittance. He is not the most agile quarterback. He wants to work on this in the offseason. He is looking around. Now, his forte is his mind and his arm. He just wants to get out. There was nobody to throw the football to.
Terry Toomey, freshman, redshirt freshman from Tulsa. There's a man chasing him out. Second down. Just under 10 to go. May have gained half a yard on the play. Kosar. Incomplete. It's intercepted. It's picked off in the air. The Bruins have the ball. James Washington taking the care of. Rutledge made the play, and Washington with the interception. 27 yards.
One of the key players we noted at the top of the game for the UCLA Bruin defense has 4 interceptions on the year. That makes his 5th. But a big play by the freshman filling in some big shoes from the past years for UCLA. Kosar throwing a tough pass. Now the ball is there, but it's a tough pass to catch for Smith, because anything in the air that long, you're going to get hit as soon as you're catching it. Good tip reaction drill by James Washington.
And watch the hit of Rutledge. Foul, the ball's in the air, and Washington picks it up. 18-yard line. Here come the Bruins. James Primus gets the call. Time remaining in the first half, 48 and counting, and Bruins will stop the clock. A gain of a couple of yards on the last play. When we come back, it'll be back to play. It'll be 2nd and 8 with 48 seconds left. Let's go back for a moment to that 51-yard successful field goal by John Lee. Lee this year 16 of 16 inside of 40 yards. He hit 29 of 33. You mentioned that he missed only 4. A native of Seoul, South Korea, the site of the 1988 Olympic Games. Played his high school ball in Downey. Also a baseball player and a soccer player. A All-America selection. 5'10 and 3/4 inches, 175-pound junior. One more year of kicking. He could be a first-round draft choice.
Oh, no question. He'd be a first-round this year. And a big fan of Rafael Septien, the kicker for the Dallas Cowboys. He really likes the way he kicks. He says, I like his consistency. And he had a phone conversation a few weeks ago, and this man is going to be a very good kicker for a long time.
And we have a report from the Cotton Bowl game that Boston College and Doug Flutie way out in front of Houston by a score of 31-7. Here it's 21-19, UCLA trailing and threatening. Bono into the end zone. It is incomplete. He was going to Sherrard. That will stop the clock now with 44 seconds. 3rd down and 8. Darrell Fullington and Reggie Sutton had the double coverage. And now let's be realistic. The Miami defense has been a bit porous the last game and a half of the season. 89 points were scored against them offensively. During that same period, they scored 85 points.
Well, of course, the offense has put them in this problem the last half of this quarter with not
John Lee and the lead at halftime. Tipped, it is incomplete. The kicker, the threesome, the point-producing trio of the Bruins. It is good. 33-21 with 36 seconds left.
And they're doing it with their strength. They're doing it with their kicking game and their defense. As we take another look, he kicks this ball.
22-21, 36 seconds left in the first half. Bob?
The last 2 ball games the University of Miami has played, the score has been in the 40s for both teams. It looks like we may have something like that today. I don't think Terry Donahue thought that. I talked to him yesterday. He said for us to have a chance to win, the score has got to be something like 21-17, 21-16. It's already 22-21, Terry, and you're ahead. So you've scored more points than you thought you would.
Ken Potter kicking off. This will sail through.
They'll give him a lot of competition.
But BYU is 13-0. That should even make it more exciting. Tipped, it is incomplete, almost intercepted. Only one of his last 8 passes that is completed to his own players. He had 1 picked up. Kosar scrambling, and then he goes down. 48-yard touchdown pass from Kosar. Then Gaston Green, a Fiesta Bowl record, a 72-yard touchdown. UCLA's defensive safety, Josh Shinnick, is the man who received credit. And John Lee with a pair of field goals at 51 and 33 yards. What it adds up to is a total of 43 points. 22 for UCLA, 21 for Miami.
Mentioned the last 2 University of Miami games in the 40s. They lost to Maryland 42-40 when they were ahead 31-0 at halftime. That about drove Jimmy Johnson crazy.
Yes.
But then the final one, Boston College, 47.
For UCLA too, they were selected by some to be the, speaking of number 1 preseason, to be the number 1 team in the country. Kosar throws it in. Pitts diving for it. They say no, he trapped it.
At least you're making him move around. They're forcing him out of the pocket, forcing him to throw on the run. A good look here at what he is seeing in the secondary. 3 deep to the right of your screen. And now nobody is open. He's trying to get it to the man right on the symbol, the Fiesta Bowl symbol in the middle of the sun, and he just doesn't get it high enough because he was moving around.
So Rick Tootin now will be kicking to Ron Pitts. 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Pressure, and he gets it away. And the ball just rolls free. It'll be down around the 29-yard line as officially the first half comes to a close. Oliver returns to the 10, has a little opening, cuts back at the 20, flag is down, and Oliver is down at the 24-yard line. So the first thing we'll have to do is to sort out the flag as we open the second half with the Bruins on top just by a point.
Ball will be placed down on the 24-yard line. First down, Hurricanes.
Holding against the return team, that is Miami.
A flag on the play.
And the ball is going to be marked. They started to mark it back at the 11-yard line, and let's see where they do face it off to. We were watching the markers on the far side, and that's what it'll be. Guy Gibbs of the WAC conference. Officially, they spotted at the 12-yard line. So here we go on the first play from scrimmage in the second half with Bernie Kosar, the sophomore quarterback, Boardman, Ohio. Second team All-America quarterback. And here is Oliver, and he is cut down at the 11-yard line. So Darrow will lose a yard. It'll be second down and 11.
Tackled by number 85.
85, Lee Knowles, the senior from Huntington Beach, was there. And you alluded to the fact that defensively, or the defense has to be the key for UCLA. And it certainly has been. It certainly was in the first half.
They've got good field position. They got them backed up. Now, if they can force University of Miami to take some time and spend some yards and then turn the ball over, keep them out of the end zone, that's what they want to do.
Second and 11, you look for Kosar to throw here. He keeps one back in, has a blitz from the other side, gets the pass off. It's complete to Brian Blades. Now, Blades, the freshman redshirt from Fort Lauderdale, Texas, has already scored a touchdown. Blades, coming into the ball game, had only 3 receptions this year for 50 yards. And in this game, he has 3 for 60 and a touchdown.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, you're talking.
Yes.
You said Fort Lauderdale, Texas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't know they had a Fort Lauderdale in Texas.
No, they don't. I was just.
Blades is in there for Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown is not in there starting the second half. We'll have to check and see if he's injured.
Third down and 1. First down, Darrell Oliver. And Oliver drags a Bruin across the 35 to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. That was James Washington.
And a key block by number 72, Alvin Ward, the right guard. You'll see him pulling out. Number 72 makes the block on the linebacker right there. Big hole. Oliver doing some good running. James Washington, number 3, with the tackle. Washington has been all over the field, the best athlete in that secondary.
A gain of 16 yards to the 37-yard line, and it's a first down for Miami on their own 37. We're in the opening drive of the second half. Miami trails by 122-21. Here's Bratton. Bratton, a quick opener to the right side, spins his way across the 45. He has, they'll spot it right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 8. Lee Knowles with the tackle, so it'll be second down and a couple. So Miami seems, at least in the opening of their second half, to mix it up rather than coming out just trying to get it all back through the air.
Well, they've got a good running game, Charlie. Bratton and Oliver, both good runners at offensive line. Most of them fifth-year seniors, only one sophomore, and that's Berticelli on the line. So they want to come out and run. They can run and throw.
Oliver, 5 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. And here's Kosar. And he drills it. Pass is complete to the tight end, Willie Smith. Leans across the 45 to the 44-yard line of UCLA. And Lee Knowles, again, the senior from Huntington Beach, and one of the co-captains for the Bruins, makes the tackle.
Willie Smith, number 84, what a great year he had. Broke all the records that were set last year by Glenn Dennison, who is now with the New York Jets. But Smith just said I couldn't imagine having this kind of a year, this good a year. He says everything that went right for me. He was injured in one ball game and still caught 66 passes.
20-year-old sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida. First down at the Bruins' 44-yard line. And here's Melvin Bratton. Bratton goes out of bounds at the 40. So he'll pick up 4. It'll be second down and 6. An injury report on Eddie Brown. He got speared in the first half. And so there he is on the sideline. We do not know whether or not he can return, but we also noticed that he was not back on punt returns. He seems to be semi-healthy. So perhaps we will see him again. I hope so. He's a good athlete.
He didn't catch a ball in the first half, but he did get his hands on it long enough to run back a punt return for a touchdown, and he seems to be in pretty good spirits.
68 yards on that touchdown ramble. They spotted at the 39, so it's second down and 5. UCLA 22, Miami 21, opening drive of the second half. And here is Bratton leaning close to the 35. They'll spot it at the 36, a gain of 3. So it'll be third down and still a couple to go.
You know, Charlie, that offensive line that they're running behind was kind of interesting. Early in the week, they were talking about the award for the international goodwill and brotherhood, that they had all kinds of people on that offensive line. You had an Italian at left tackle, a Cuban at left guard, a Canadian at center, a black from Chicago at right guard, and an Irishman at right tackle. They said if they took away their green cards, they'd be in tough shape.
Third down and a couple to go.
Number 20, Bernie Kosar.
Kosar tries to pick it up. And it looks as if he may have done it. He does. Lee Knowles again in on the tackle for the Bruins.
And of course, Bernie Kosar, the man they're all blocking for, is a Catholic of
Czechoslovakian descent.
Extraction, that's true.
From Boardman, Ohio. UCLA 34-yard line. I think we're checking everybody's passports and family trees today.
Yes.
Pass is complete. Tight end Willie Smith. Smith. Right at the 24-yard line, near the first down. Maybe about a half a step shy of the first down. Tommy Taylor, the second leading tackler for the Bruins, is the man who brought him down.
Good shot from the defense, looking right. If you're a linebacker, this is what you see of Kosar. Smith getting right between Tommy Taylor and Knowles and hooking right in the middle of the field.
Willie Smith, 5 receptions. He's picked up 30 yards receiving. And it is second down and a yard to go. Kosar throwing on second down into the end zone, into coverage. It is knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage by Herb Welch.
Good catch just out of the back of the end zone. I think that was just a throw where Bernie Kosar thought that his man could go up and out-jump Welsh for the ball because he was not open. It was good
we were wondering if Eddie Brown would return. Well, he was the intended receiver on that play, so he is back and all right. There it is. Good play, but you're out of the end zone, so the interception doesn't count. Still a good defensive play. Third down and 1. The Hurricanes now with 3 tight ends. And here is Bratton, the great leg strength to the 21-yard line, and he'll pick up the first down. Mark Whalen at the bottom of the stack, the junior from Burlingame.
Number 95, Mark Whalen, number 39.
Good blocking on the right side again by Alvin Ward and Heffernan.
Pick up 4 yards on the play.
So Miami really mixing it up on this drive, and they're very patient.
It's almost as if they went into the locker room at halftime, I believe, in shock, and they say, this is nonsense. We've got a good offense. Let's go out, take the ball, and march it down the field. And to this point, they've got a very good drive going.
Melvin Bratton now 9 carries, 35 yards rushing. First down at the UCLA 21-yard line. Here's Kosar. He's looping it out to Shakespeare. Shakespeare fumbles and reaches out and pulls it back in. Stanley almost let it get away from him at the 20-yard line. Ron Pitts was there for the Bruins. It'll go for 1, second down and 9. Let's take another look.
Here's a blitz, number 42. Taylor coming Kosar sees it and has to get rid of the ball a little bit quick. That ball is live.
Oh, yes.
Let me get out here and get this back in here. Stanley, hold on to that ball, and those linebackers will come and hit you when you're on the ground.
2nd down and 9. UCLA leading 22-21. Just over 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The pass is low and incomplete. Now exactly 9 minutes to go in the 3rd, and that means that Miami has controlled the ball for 6 minutes. And they have a 3rd down and 9 at the 20-yard line. And looking down the road just a step or two, the freshman field goal kicker from Fort Lauderdale, Greg Cox, hit 14 of 17. This last season, his long being 48 yards, they're well within his range. Jimmy Johnson pondering.
He's not smiling now.
I think that nickname for a head coach of Smiley would count only during the week. And not, of course, we're during the week now, so it should be all right. Kosar fires. Pass is pulled down by Bratton at the 14-yard line. It will be short of the 1st down, as Herb Welch was there for UCLA.
And number 85, Lee Knoll. Ball will be placed down on the...
And Greg Cox will come in. Rick Tootin will be holding. And the snapper will be Bruce Fleming on a field goal attempt. This is to take the lead. And he'll be kicking from the 21-yard line. That'll be 31 yards away. So a 31-yard field goal attempt by Greg Cox of the Hurricanes is up. And it is good. So Cox hits from 31 yards out, and Miami is back in front, this time by 2. They lead 24-22. We'll be back with the kickoff. Okay. And handled by one of the upbacks. And then picked up by number 45, Marcus Greenwood. Member of the specialty team, Ken Calhoun, making the tackle. But again, the special teams coming through for UCLA as they have the ball on their own 34-yard line.
Both sides, Charlie, have had good returns on their kickoff and punts. It seems like the coverage teams on both sides are out to lunch today.
The last drive by Miami, 75 yards in 15 plays. It took almost 7 minutes off of the clock and ended with a 31-yard field goal. Bono comes out throwing for the Bruins, has a man open, and he hits him at Sherrard, 46-yard line of Miami, and a 1st down. A gain of 20 on the play. Bruce Fleming with the tackle.
It's a good play to start the 2nd half with I formation, play action. Bono's going to set up, strong arm, throws the ball outside. Sherrard gives him a lot of room to throw the ball to.
They'll spot it at the Miami 47-yard line. Now the offense of the Bruins has been sitting on the sideline in the locker room for the half and then for almost 7 minutes on the sideline. Does that have an effect?
Well, I think they feel like the defense has done a lot for us. Let's go out and help them out and do something for ourselves.
And here's Gaster Green with a move to the outside. 1st down, out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Gain of 16 for Gaster Green. Green with a 72-yard and a 6-yard touchdown ramble.
Much the blocking to the left side here. See, the hook there by Hartmeyer, blocking in the secondary on Calhoun misses. Fullington just with his great speed comes across and gets the man down. 120 yards in a little over a half is a good day.
That's an understatement. Good day.
Good day. I meant it to be an understatement.
It was. The give is to the 1st back through, and that is Brian Wiley, the senior from Harbor City. Darrell Fullington with the tackle. They'll spot the ball at the 20-yard line, so Wiley picks up a quick 11 yards. The Bruins have run 3 plays. They picked up a 1st down on every play. They started their own 34-yard line. They have moved to the 20-yard line of Miami, and right now UCLA has the spark in the ball game.
You can tell they were come. The defensive backs were up close, and everybody gets a little bit more excited. The linebackers, the defensive line, everybody's just a little bit antsy.
Dead ball foul, and it is against Miami. that will move the ball down near the 15-yard line. It'll be first down and 5. In penalties, UCLA has been penalized only one time for 5 yards. That is the 9th penalty against Miami for a total of 53.
Let's see if they come on the blitz, Charlie. It looks like safeties are inside. Might be a good time to throw outside to the wide receivers.
First down and 5. Good throwing down. Bono taking a lot of time. He gives to Green. Green runs into a stack and then just slides off into the left side to the 12-yard line. Picks up 3 yards. They weren't there. Bruce Fleming with the tackle.
I saw a shot of Jimmy Johnson a little earlier before that play, and sitting there and watching his defense be first down in 3 plays. His attack at Oklahoma State, where he came from last year, and he was the top defensive guy. He has always liked to be an aggressive style of defense. He is not one to sit back and rush with 3. He wants to get after it, and I think you're going to see a lot more aggressive defense here in the second half and next year from the University of Miami.
Francois is the blocking back, leading Green. Green to the 8-yard line, and he will pick up the first down. It'll be first down and goal to go for UCLA. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. 6:38. That is the time remaining in the third quarter. The Bruins are down by 2, 24-22. And Gaston Green now, 14 carries, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 1 of 6 and 1 of 72 yards.
And a lot of his yardage, Charlie, has been to their right behind their second-team All-American right tackle, Duval Love, and what a load he is. I think if I had an All-American over there, I'd run behind him too.
Francois, like John Lee, is also a native of Seoul, Korea. Now we're back to play. Here's Gaston Green. He'll lose a yard. So his second down goal to go at about the 9. Kevin Fagan, the strongest player on the Miami Hurricanes. We mentioned that in the first half. It's worth mentioning again, particularly in this type of a situation where it becomes strength against strength. The market for a loss of 2 to the 10-yard line, second down goal to go. And of course, UCLA already has. You can bank on the 3 points for John Lee. Now, does he want...
That may have been their problem part of the year, Charlie. When they get down there, they get too conservative. I don't think that's going to be the case here today.
Bono looking left. And throwing, has the man open, hits a touchdown. Mike Sherrard, the junior from Chico, 10 yards. So now for 23 straight games, Mike Sherrard has caught at least 2 passes. This last one being a touchdown. And UCLA is back and run a drive that started back at their own 34-yard line. Bono to Sherrard. And here is John Lee. Rather than going for the 3-pointer, he'll be adding the extra point at 66-yard touchdown drive, and he does it. And that makes it UCLA 29 and Miami 24. Here's another look at the touchdown pass.
Bono with good protection throws the ball over all the traffic. The orange jerseys, good completion, touchdown.
And Reggie Sutton will down it in the end zone for Miami. So let's go back now for a moment to the touchdown connection between Bono and Sherrard.
Top of your screen, watch Delegau, number 16 on the outside. He comes in, and the inside receiver breaks to the outside. A miscommunication in the secondary.
We'll be back in just a moment. It's 17 of 28, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. And Miami trails 29-24. Hurricanes from their own 20-yard line. Play action, wants to set a screen. There it is. Melvin Bratton. Bratton to the 25. Well, he has to fight for every yard, and he picks up a couple more to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line, and there was a flag dropped on the play. Craig Rutledge, the strong safety, is the man who made the tackle on redshirt freshman Melvin Bratton from Northwestern High School in Miami, 6'2", 205, a face mask against the defense. That is only the second penalty by the UCLA Bruins.
I think a team's penalty, the amount of penalties, goes right back to their head coach, Charlie. And this team, Terry Donahue, the head coach, is well disciplined. He doesn't allow it to go on in practice, and he doesn't allow it in the ball games. And I think the lack of penalties against UCLA is a tribute to that man right there.
Winning the last 2 Rose Bowls. And in 1981, they lost in the Blue Bonnet Bowl. So here in the Fiesta Bowl, they're trying to make it 3 bowl wins in a row. For the Bruins, pass complete to Willie Smith, the tight end. Line of scrimmage at 33. He goes down at the 39, gain of 6, second down 4. And Dennis Price was the first man there. Ron Butler the second for UCLA. Clock is stopped with 5:11. That is the time remaining in the third. Of course, after we finish the action here in the Fiesta Bowl, we'll be on to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena and then to the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. So just enjoy the start of the new year, 1985. The big thing today is, the question today is, tomorrow, do you write the right date on your check? We'll be writing 84 for the next couple of weeks. Second down and 4, the Miami 39-yard line. Here's Darrell Oliver. Oliver is cut off outside. Good defensive play. He'll lose a yard. It'll be third down and 5 as Tommy Taylor from Chattanooga, Tennessee, the junior. An all Pac-10 selection, first team for the Bruins, and he makes the tackle.
All remains on the...
No, they're going to say no, 39-yard line. So it's third down and 4. No gain on the play.
What a good player that man is right there. And, of course, he's going against the top offense. Both offenses today playing well. Great day for an offense. Lots of sunshine, grass field, good footing.
That. You like a grass field and good footing. Sure. Kozar, pressure. Bratton pulls it down. In trouble, and he is dropped to the 33-yard line. So he'll lose 6 on the play. And it will be fourth down and 10 as Craig Rutledge, the strong safety, along with Mark Whalen, team up for the Bruins.
And good pressure on Kozar. Again, they don't get the sack, and this is not a screen. They don't get the sack, 95 Whalen, but they make him move around. He couldn't throw the ball downfield, had to dump it off.
So Rick Dutton of Miami will be kicking to Ron Pitts. This is his 5th punt of the ball game. His average today, 38 yards. That is below his season average of 41.6. And Pitts takes it to the 35-yard line. A little hesitation, and he has a 6 or 7 yard return, and there's a flag on the play. A 32-yard kick and a 7-yard return. 3:39. That is the time remaining here in the third quarter. UCLA out in front of Miami by 5 points. The score is 29-24. In the sun-drenched Valley of the Sun, it'll be a clipping penalty against the Bruins, so they will lose that advantage of field position. This, by the way, is the first meeting ever between the University of Miami and the University of California at Los Angeles. It's California against Florida. For the Bruins, 17 of 22 starters from California. For Miami, 18 of 22 starters from the state of Florida, east against west. Bono, a little pump fake as pressure comes back to Gaston Green. Green breaks the tackle. 36-yard line. First down for Gaston Green and UCLA. Derwin Jones and Bruce Fleming make the tackle for the Hurricanes of Miami.
Talked a little earlier, Charlie, about Steve Bono being unsettled in the first quarter. Now he seems very confident, moving around very well, dumps the ball off. He knew he wanted to get the ball to Green all along. He is a very confident quarterback at this point and should play well for the rest of the ball game.
And Tom Lasorda is from Steve Bono's hometown. That is Norristown, Pennsylvania. We have whistles and flags. Gaston Green has rushed for 125 yards in 15 carries. He scored 2 touchdowns, has 3 receptions for 32 yards. I mentioned in the first half that in the USC game, when he came in for the injured Danny Andrews, that he rushed for 134 yards against USC, the only man to go over the century mark against the Trojans this year. That information courtesy of Merlin Olsen, who called from the Rose Bowl. They're watching us there as they get ready for the big game in the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. What's happening down in Dallas? Well, Doug Flutie has things well in hand in the third, 31-14.
Back up, guys.
First down and 15. Here's Gaston Green. 3 yards to the 35. It'll be second down and 12. Bruce Fleming is the man who brings him down.
You know, with all the success that Gaston Green has had today, Charlie, it's not really surprising to me, because I feel that a running back can have a quicker influence, whether he's a freshman in college or a rookie in the professional ranks. A freshman running back can have or a rookie running back could have an influence on a team quicker than any other position. It takes longer to learn an offensive line or a quarterback or wide receiver, but a running back just needs to get that ball and use his ability and take off and run, and he's certainly done that very well.
Second and 12. Bono, quick screen to the left side to Green, coming out of the backfield. Green across the 40 and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So he picks up 8 yards. It'll be third down and 4. George Myra Jr. was the man who was there for the Canes.
All Gaston Green has to learn here is, okay, I'm going to go out here and fake. Now, that's the part they taught him. As a freshman, it took a little bit of time. Now, this is all God-given talent right here. He says, if you give me the ball, I'm going to take off and run with it.
You know, there's a lot of things that go on at every bowl game, and particularly at the Fiesta Bowl, a lot of socializing and visiting and special events and the parades and the ball and the band pageantry. We had something extra special happen to one of the UCLA Bruins. We just want to mention it in passing. We'll work it in right after this play. Green in motion. The throw is to Green on the right side, 45. And Green goes out of bounds after picking up the first down at the 49-yard line. Ken Calhoun was there for the defense.
The Gaston Green offense. It's Gaston right and Gaston left.
Not a bad call either.
Not bad if you want to get some offense going.
Here's another look.
He's looking downfield, really. Bono gives it a look and then says, I don't like it. I've got my main man out here. Let him break some tackles for me. 5 receptions already in the ballgame.
47 yards, and he's a true freshman, not a redshirt. First down for UCLA at their own 49-yard line. Bruins out in front, 29-24. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third. James Primus is the ball carrier. He comes in to give Gaston just a breath of fresh air.
You see Primus talking with Bono there. They had a slight problem on the exchange. Primus going a little bit wider than Bono thought he would be going for the handoff.
And now Mel Farr Jr. The freshman comes into the ball game. His dad, of course, played at UCLA in Detroit. 47-yard line, second down and 6. Bono to throw. He's in trouble and sacks and loses the ball. Almost recovered by Miami. Pops up Jim McCullough. Was it McCullough or Duval Love? Duval Love, who you will see on NBC in the Hula Bowl. Hey, great hands, Duval. The senior from Fountain Valley recovered it. So all that action, the ball still at the 47-yard line. Here's another look.
The problem here, Bono, when things get a little hot, he doesn't tuck the ball away. It pops out. Cameron, number 64, should have had it, but Duval was right there to take care of the work. I jumped right up at him. How could you miss that with Duval?
Loss of a yard, third down and 7. Here's Bono to throw. Stands in, fires, and it is complete. Tight end, Derek Tunnell, first down at the 35-yard line. A gain of 12 on the play. Darrell Fullington with the tackle. That is the time remaining in the third quarter. Bruins leading Miami 29-24. Here's Bono in action.
I see a surge of confidence coming up in this man. He's waiting for his receivers, takes his time, waits for the man to cross. Sherrard underneath should have kept going. He was throwing that ball to Tunnell the entire way, but I really feel a surge of confidence in this offensive unit, and especially Bono.
At the Miami 35-yard line, first down for the Bruins.
Ball carriers, number 45, Marcus Greenwood.
Marcus Greenwood is now in as a running back. He replaces Brian Wiley. He carries for the Bruins as the third quarter winds its way down. That is the end of the third. UCLA 29, Miami 24. Back after these messages, 3-yard line, second down and 8. Bono, a little play action fake. He's 6 of 6 in the second half. Goes for 7 of 7. He's got it, and a touchdown to Mike Young. 33 yards.
UCLA leads 35-24.
6 seconds into the fourth quarter. Jimmy Johnson, head coach of Miami. The Bruins stretch the margin. 35-24, looking for one more from John Lee. Oh, and they've got it.
It's a good call, Charlie, by the UCLA offensive coordinator. Play action fake. Lucius Delegau, number 16, is going to be all by himself trying to cover Young. You don't expect a takeoff pattern, one straight down the field when you're on about the 30-35-yard line. That's what Delegau was relying on. Delegau starting his first ball game. He's a fourth-year senior starting his first ball game. Gets beat for the touchdown.
And the Bruins have the lead. 9 yards deep. It'll be down in the end zone. The Valley of the Sun, living up to its name. The temperature in the 70s. A gorgeous day for the 14th annual Fiesta Bowl. Miami trailing now by 12 points, 36-24. Fourth quarter, 14:54 remaining. Kozar fires, sidearm pass complete. He goes to Eddie Brown as All-American receiver. Brown fighting his way for yardage, looking for any kind of an opening, and he'll lose about 5 in the melee that followed, and just still barely picks up the first down.
He had a first down by about 6 or 7 yards and almost didn't make it.
Greg Rutledge finally chased him down. Brown was shaken up in the first half when he was speared, and he's been shaken up again here.
Kosar back to pass on first down, down 12 points in the fourth quarter. They've been in this position before this year and come back. Eddie Brown just looking for somewhere to go.
We've got a timeout on the field. The score, UCLA 36, Miami 24. We'll be back in a moment. Action, Miami at their own 31-yard line, first down. Brian Blades with a touchdown reception. Has replaced him. Blades goes deep on a streak pattern. And it is juggled and almost intercepted by James Washington for his second interception of the ball game. Dennis Price was there with the coverage along with Washington. So bring it back to the Miami 31. It'll be second down and 10.
Take a look at the protection that Kosar is enjoying. A lot of room to step up and throw. As you see, man-to-man coverage, good coverage. This time, Price, number 6, sees the ball coming, and Blades can't make the play. Washington almost gets over for the deflection.
Eddie Brown back in the ball game with that 4-4 speed. Second down and 10. He is wide to the right. Shakespeare is wide to the left. Williams and Bratton are the setbacks. And Bratton on the receiving end. He juggles it and he catches it. Boy, the ball is squirting all over the place. It'll be third down. Ken Norton Jr. was there. It'll go for a loss of a yard back to the 30, so it's third down and 9. Now, we said a lot of things happen at bowl games. Well, number 36, Ted Henderson of the UCLA Bruins. Well, Ted decided to go the other night mountain climbing. Didn't realize that the sun could set so quickly in the Valley of the Sun. And he got trapped on the side of a mountain. They had to rescue him by helicopter. And he has heard of they asked Terry Donahue if he was going to penalize him anyway. He says, no, he said, he's got so much flack about it already. I don't want to add to his troubles. Third down. Flag is down. Kozar. Pass complete. Eddie Brown to the 40, 35. Needs a block. Can't find it. There's a face mask flag dropped at the 26-yard line, but A flag dropped back at the 23-yard line. You usually expect offensive holding and then the face mask at the end of the play to offset each other.
I think they're going to bring this back, Charlie. Call it offsetting penalties.
Holding against the Canes of Miami, face mask against UCLA. That's it. So they'll offset.
It's a tough break for the University of Miami because a good deep square end pattern, something that Terry Donahue said going into the ball game, they throw deeper patterns than any team we've played all year. Of course, you have to have time to be able to throw it, but a big play can come about from a deep square end because he comes out the other side, and that play will come back.
13 minutes, 22 seconds left to go here. The score, UCLA 36, Miami 24.
Hurricanes face masking against the Bruins. Penalties offset. The foul will be replayed.
Third down and 10, back at the 30-yard line. Shakespeare is wide to this side. And we have jumping for the Bruins with the snap flags down. Blades is the wide receiver. We're going to whistle the ball dead, stop the play. So then we'll come back and sort this one out. A little jumping by the Bruin defensive line. The question is, were they pulled off, or did it just come off on the change of cadence by Kozar? Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure against UCLA. So it'll be third down and 5 at the 35. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Charlie. Can't be very happy. Jimmy Johnson, the number of penalties that his offense has committed today, and then, of course, the number of points that his defense has allowed has continued the nightmare that he finished the season with against Maryland and Boston College. And you can be sure that once he gets his hands really on this program and comes back and next year in the spring practice and next fall, that this defense is going to be a lot different than it has been the last 3 ball games.
Third down and 5. Miami trailing by 12. Kozar can get it back in bunches, knocked away. Good defensive play. Willie Smith, the tight end, the intended receiver, and Ron Pitts was there.
Number 84, Willie Smith. Pitts, number 47. He just goes down to the inside, starts springing to the outside. Pitts dives for the ball. Good play, forces him to punt.
Ron Pitts set to return the kick of Rick Toop. We were surprised that we would see Pitts in the ball game. He had knee surgery, did not play against USC, and then he had a wart removed from his foot this week, just 3 or 4 days ago, but he is in, going all the way. We've got a timeout, 50,310 from here on to the Rose Bowl and then to the Orange Bowl on NBC. Steve Bono, and Bono Cox fires and he misses Mike Young. Now Bono has completed now 14 of 24 for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. In the second half, that is the first throw that he has missed in the second half. He's now 7 of 8 for 101 yards in the second half. Mike Sherrard has 3 receptions for 52 yards and a touchdown. Gaston Green has 5 receptions for 47 yards, and Mike Young has 3 for 46 and a touchdown. Bruins at their own 29, second down and 10. A gain of a yard on the play. It'll be third down and 9. Bruce Fleming was there for the defense along with Jerome Brown.
Kozar on the sideline wondering what he has to do to win a football game. He's scored over 40 points in the last 2 and has him 24 points here, and he's 12 points behind, but it takes defense to win ball games also.
Brian Wiley was the last ball carrier. Gaston Green rushing, 16 carries, 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. Third down and 9. Bono has pressure, loops it, and it was cut off. They were on different pages of the playbook, or either that or the book was upside down.
You got that exactly right. That was a little miscommunication. The wide receiver read one route and broke it off, and the quarterback throwing the ball downfield. But that's where timing and communication with your receivers and quarterback pays off.
Now here's an opportunity for Miami. Kevin Bonifay will be kicking, and Stanley Shakespeare, with any kind of a return, will give the Canes good field position. However, Bonifay was the 15th ranked punter in major colleges this year. Not that good a kick. And takes a Miami bounce, goes out of bounds in the neighborhood of the 40-yard line. So the Hurricanes will have the ball on their own 40 yards. We'll be back in just a moment. 36-24. They have the ball on their own 40-yard line. Bernie Kosar, the quarterback. And he gives to Melvin Bratton. Bratton picks up a couple of yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Neil Delicano, the first man there for the defense, and Lee Knowles, the second.
Tackle by number 39.
Still a lot of time on the clock, but I'm surprised that Miami just doesn't come out throwing.
Well, I think that's what they thought UCLA was thinking also. A run on 1st down sometimes is good if you're a passing football team late in the ball game.
In other words, that's what UCLA thought, and that's what we thought that UCLA thought. Therefore, we'll counter with a run. And UCLA, that's probably what they thought that we thought, so we'll counter with a run defense.
A lot of thinking going on.
Comeback batter, pass is complete to Eddie Brown, and he picks up the 1st down at the UCLA 46-yard line. And Dennis Price makes the tackle for the Bruins. A gain of 11 yards on the play and the 1st down.
This is one of the reasons why Eddie Brown and Bernie Kosar are so successful. Eddie Brown, first-team All-American, goes deep down the field. Kosar throws the ball way back short. He keeps coming back till he finds the football. You can't really stop pass patterns like that if you keep coming away from the man that's covering it.
The ball just outside the UCLA 46-yard line. Five seconds on the 25-second clock. Kosar has time, fires, sideline pattern. He's got it at the 41-yard line. This time it's Brian Blades who scored the touchdown in the wrestling match with 2 defenders. Phillips and Price were there for UCLA. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. UCLA 36, Miami 24. Miami led 14-7 at the end of the 1st quarter. UCLA by 1 at the half, 22-21. Now 36-24. Building off a 29-24 margin going into the 4th quarter. Bruins scored on the first play of the 4th. Here's Warren Williams. Williams with the fresh legs to the 29-yard line. That is a gain of 12 and a 1st down for Miami. Darrell Oliver, who has scored a touchdown in the ballgame, getting just a bit of a breath here as the chains are being moved. 10 minutes, 23 seconds left to go in the 14th edition of the Fiesta Bowl. 1st down, UCLA 29-yard line. Kosar keeping both backs into block. Completes the pass on the far side to Shakespeare, and he moves to the 19-yard line. That is a gain of 10. Right at the 1st down marker, Dennis Price was there for UCLA. And while we check it out, it is a 1st down. Let's go back to a scoring recap with Green opening it up for UCLA from 6 yards out. Oliver then countered with a 34-yard run, 68-yard return for Brown, and then it was the pass to Blades in the wrestling match and a 21-7 lead. Then Green 72 yards away, a Fiesta Bowl record, and we'll finish that up right after this play, our scoring recap, to bring you up to date. And here's Bratton, a sweep to the right side. He could go in to score, and he does, yes. 19 yards. 60-yard drive in 6 plays. And 9:49 left to go.
Charlie, they talk about Eddie Brown being All-American first team for his catching and receiving. He threw a devastating block on the corner that time that allowed Bratton to get around the corner and score. Bratton's got to thank his wide receivers for some of that yardage as he gets to the outside.
2 points, 36-30. Kozar to throw for it, and it is intercepted. That just erases the 2 points. Interception by Rutledge. So the score will hold at 36-30. Let's take another look at the interception by Craig Rutledge.
Blocked by his back right here, but if you won't be able to see from this shot right there, Eddie Brown on the ground makes a good block. Bratton with the speed gets into the end zone. The top right of your screen, see if you can see a block right there on number 2, Welsh, by Eddie Brown. Bratton gets around the corner. Big play.
36-30. Here's Bob Garibaldi on the kickoff return. Slips 1 tackle and just fights his way to the 14-yard line. So UCLA does not have any type of field position to start this drive. Let's go back to the touchdown drive and the score by Melvin Bratton, and watch as he moves ever so close to the right sideline.
Melvin moving on. Check his right foot right here to see how close it was. Right there. Pretty close.
Pretty close, and diving past the pylon. White shoe and white marker, hard to tell. Bratton, 11 carries, 57 yards, and the touchdown. And here is Gaston Green.
Number 44, Gaston Green.
Green will pick up about 3 on the play. Willie Lee Broughton making the tackle. Now let's go back to the scoring recap, and we have an extra added attraction at the end. There was the safety, and Josh Shinnick received credit for that, but he was joined by a group of teammates. And then Cox with the 31-yard field goal. That was followed by Sherrard, the 10-yard pass, 29-24 UCLA, third quarter then. Young, the 33-yard pass, opening play of the fourth quarter. And the one that you just saw, of course, and that was Melvin Bratton, scoring from 19 yards away. Little play action fake by Bono. Pass is complete to the tight end. Tunnell down the sidelines, out of bounds at the 38-yard line. A gain of 21 on the play and a first down. So here come the Bruins. Tolbert Bain defensively was there for the Canes of Miami. In the Cotton Bowl, 31-28 fourth quarter score. Boston College having that ball game not well in hand like they did at one time.
It looked to be a runaway at the start.
And we have a lot of people, you know, and let's be honest about it, we have a lot of people flipping back from both ball games. We've got a good one here, and right now that one in the one in Dallas is also becoming a close contest. Here's Bono. All the time in the world going deep. A flag will go down. Mike Young, intended receiver. That will be pass interference. It'll be 15 yards previous spot. They'll bring it back to line of scrimmage. They did not need to push him out. He was already out.
I don't think he could have even caught the ball.
I don't either.
I think the ball would have been out of bounds, and I don't know. Let's take another look and see. But the ball, the coverage was good on it. Let's take a look as he gets outside the pocket. The ball was well out of bounds. They hit him when he was in bounds, but the ball was not catchable.
But there was no need to even push him. There was no need for the contact.
Well, they didn't see the ball coming, obviously, and Jimmy Johnson, as we take a look at him right here and talking with him earlier, he said one of the real problems has been in the defensive backfield. They've just been so young in their secondary that they've made a lot of mistakes. And today we saw earlier Louis Delegau, who is in there, who's a senior, who is in there playing for Tolbert Bain, who is a freshman, who has not played that well in the last couple of ball games. He played very well most of the year, but Delegau is playing well. He's been beaten today, and he's a senior. So contagious in the secondary.
Here's Gaston Green. The line of scrimmage, the Miami 43. He'll go to the 38-yard line. So he'll pick up about 5. Bruce Fleming with the tackle along with Reggie Sutton. Now, of course, pass interference in the National Football League is at the spot of the foul. In college football, it is 15 yards from the previous spot, that being the previous line of scrimmage in this case. Second down and 5. And we have 8 minutes and 19 seconds, time remaining and counting. 36 UCLA, 30 Miami. Bruins have the ball and a 6-point lead. Bono fakes a pitch out, gives him the handoff to Brian Wiley, and the Hurricane defensive line was just sitting there and waiting. Willie Lee Broughton is the man who made first contact. They'll lose a yard on the play, might get a loss of 2 to the 40. So it'll be third down and 7. We look for Bono to throw here.
Well, they were doing a little bit more than sitting there, Charlie. They had the safeties blitzing up tight, and I think the University of Miami now feels like, hey, we cannot afford to give them any more points. John Lee is in field goal range. If they get another first down or some yardage, they want to get them out of that range.
Sherrard and Young are the wide receivers. Bono rolling out, has pressure, and he is sacked.
Kevin Fagan, number 95, the strength of that defensive line, coming through and making a big play, which eliminates the possibility of a 3-point field goal by Lee and gives the opportunity to Jimmy Johnson and Bernie Kosar coming back for another score.
That is the first sack of the ball game for Miami, so Kevin Bunapay will be kicking. Stanley Shakespeare is set for the return. Notice the shadows, though. That means that Shakespeare is looking right in the sun. A high, lazy floater. The up back signals for a fair catch. That is Ken Calhoun, and he takes the Bruins, have the lead. And we'll be back in just a moment to the Fiesta Bowl. 14th Fiesta Bowl. Miami with the ball, trailing by 6. They have the ball on their own 22-yard line. Bernie Kosar. Pressure from behind. Pass is complete. Tight end. Willie Smith. Smith is out of bounds at the 33. A gain of 11 and a first down. Ken Norton Jr., the first man there. Ron Butler, the second for the defense.
Sometimes you have to improvise a little bit. Number 84, Willie Smith, blocking on the safety that is blitzing. He sees Kosar in trouble. He says, I was supposed to block, but hey, I'm here. Give me a little pass, and I'll get what I can for you.
Mark it for 12 as they spot the ball at the 34-yard line.
Smith has really been a big addition to that offense because they lost their tight end last year, Dennison. They didn't have a good tight end. They'd seen a lot of coverage on the outside.
Second-team All-American. He's a 6'8" high jumper. Here's Kosar. Going deep. Oliver. Did he come down with it? Yes, he did. Darrell Oliver, who has scored a touchdown in the ball game, comes down with the reception. Dennis Price was the defender, 35 yards on the play.
Kosar looking to his left. Watch Kosar. Now he looks back to his left side, then comes back to the right. He wants to get the ball downfield to Oliver between the two safeties. Number 6, Price, and Delacono, the linebacker, was out there, but he threw the ball in between the two defensive men.
At the UCLA 32-yard line, first down for Miami. 36-30, Miami down by 6 with 6:13 left to go. Here's Bratton. Bratton just leads for a yard, maybe 2. Let's mark it the 31. And Lee Knowles was leading against him along with Ken Norton Jr. It'll be second down and 9. And by the way, R.C. Mitch
quarter, now they're only down 6. They were down to the University of Florida early in the year and came back and won the ball game. They were down to Boston College in the last game of the year and came back. The offensive linemen, they all have tremendous confidence in Kosar and the receivers to get the job done. And I think you're seeing it here again today. Tremendous confidence and poise by the University of Miami offense.
But I'm beginning to wonder now, as well as UCLA's offense has played, you have just over 5.5 minutes to go. You want to score, but not too soon. Yeah. Now they're facing that dilemma. But first things first, second down and 9, 31-yard line. Kosar looks left all the way, throws, completes the pass. Near the 25-yard line to Stanley Shakespeare. Ron Pitts closes on him immediately at the 25. It'll go for 6, so it'll be third down and 3. And again, again playing the numbers game. Remember that the margin is 6 points, and so that's a pair of field goals by Greg Cox, and they're pretty much within his range right now, but you're talking for a tie.
Yeah, and I don't think they would want to get in a field goal kicking contest at this point, because if they did, I think the University of UCLA could come back and kick one themselves.
Because they have the great John Lee as their field goal kicker. 3rd down and 3. Here's Oliver. Oliver, first down to the 12-yard line. James Washington makes the tackle at the 12. They needed 3. They got 13 in the first down.
University of Miami running left. Berticelli, 79. Moore, number 50. Coming around Bratton, getting a good block. Oliver jumping. He says the jump worked once. I'll try it again.
Darrell Oliver now with 8 carries has an exact 100 yards as he hits the century mark in the Fiesta Bowl. 12-yard line. 1st and 10. Here's Darrell Oliver to the 4-yard line. He picks up 8. It'll be 2nd down and a couple for the first down. 2nd down and 4 for the score. We're moving on the 4-minute mark. Time remaining in the game.
To your left of your screen, you'll see the blocking right there. 52 is Heffernan with a great block on the linebacker. Norton just turns him right on his back. Norton may get up and say, hey, you want to fight? And Heffernan should say, if your dad is who I think it is, I don't think I want to.
And his dad is, so okay. 2nd down and 2 for the first down. Kozar trying to lean over the top on 2nd down and 2 for the first down. He gets just 1 yard. I'm a little surprised at that call.
I am too.
Did he see something? Or
could have checked it off.
Checked it off?
Jimmy Johnson gives Kosar the option to check off whenever he wants, and not only to the passing game, but to the running game. He can check to a lot of different runs, and I think that is what he's doing down here. That last play, the play before this one, was certainly a checkoff.
Down by 6, though. They can figure they're in 4-down situation, forget the field goal attempt. 3rd down and 1. 3-yard line. Fake to Oliver, has a man open. He's there. Bratton, touchdown. Redshirt freshman Melvin Bratton has now scored 2 touchdowns in the ball game. He scored 4 against BC, so 6 in his last 2 outings.
Melvin Bratton and Gaston Green, I think the next several years you're going to hear a lot about those 2 young men. Johnson back on top, and I don't know how safe he feels the way his defense has been playing the last 2 months.
Not back on top yet, but now he is. 37-36, the Canes by 1. 2:58 left to go. Don't go away. Yard line by Mark Seelig, the kicker. Sometimes you get a little head start.
Right there, Melvin Bratton, number 5, lined up behind Kosar, gets a little bit of a head start. He's the man that's going to receive the touchdown pass, wide open in the flat. You win some and you lose some.
Miami 37, UCLA 36, 2:52 left to go in this, the most exciting Fiesta Bowl of them all. Here comes Steve Bono and the Bruins of UCLA. The key man has been Gaston Green, and here he is. Leans to the 35. He has 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Reggie Sutton with the tackle. The clock moving. 2:40 and counting. And a Miami player shaken up.
Ball on the 35-yard line.
And then is George Myra Jr., who is the injured player for Miami. So that stops the clock at the 2:37 mark. And a chance for us to remind you once again, from here we'll be going to the Rose Bowl and then to the Orange Bowl. But first of all, let's go to a commercial. Okay, back to the game, 2nd down and 7, 35-yard line. Bono scrambles and is brought down by Kevin Fagan.
was a big play by Fagan, because Sherrard had run right past Sutton down the left sideline.
2 minutes and 20 seconds as UCLA stops the clock. A gain of a yard, so it's 3rd down and 6. Now, let's look back and ahead at the same time. The longest field goal in the record book in the Fiesta Bowl, Luis Zendejas, of 74 yards. That was in 1983's Zendejas of Arizona State in the game against Oklahoma. Now, John Lee, the great kicker of UCLA, has a 51-yarder in the bank today, along with a 33-yarder.
You didn't say 74 yards, did you?
Well, it's 54 yards. Did I say 74? I'm so excited. Terribly excited about
Maybe a 74-yarder from where they are right now. But I think UCLA has relied on this man right here, 41 of 42 field goals from inside the 40 all year long. They feel like all they have to do is move the ball maybe 25, 30, 35 yards, and they can win this ballgame.
UCLA trailing by 1, facing 3rd down and 6. No reason now, with 2:20 left to go in the Fiesta Bowl, that you're not in a 4-down situation, like you say. They need another 30, 35 yards somewhere in that neighborhood. Give John Lee an opportunity to win it. His career long is 52 yards, and if memory serves me correct, that took place in the stadium against Arizona State. I'm not 100% sure of that.
UCLA has never lost in this stadium, that's for certain. The only tie was in the Fiesta Bowl game itself.
John Lee, the point being John Lee kicks well in the desert. I thought that's what I was alluding to. All right, here's Bono, 3rd down and 6. Has a man open. Sherrard has it. Fumbled it, juggled it just for a moment, but he retained possession at the 50-yard line. 3rd and 6, picked up 14 yards on the play, and the 1st down.
Sherrard, 82, is going to beat Sutton. Sutton has him all over the field, has deep help, so he should be on him much tighter than he is. Sherrard makes a good move, gets to the inside, and gets the 1st down. I'm really impressed with Bono, Charlie, the way he's playing the second half.
We can see in the second half why the pro scouts rate this senior from Norristown, Pennsylvania so highly. He's in the top 3 on all the scouting reports for the quarterbacks in this class. Pass complete to Mike Young. Young spinning out, 39-yard line. That'll be a 1st down, gain of 11.
I kind of wonder what Steve Bono would have done in an offensive system such as Miami's, for instance. Howard Schnellenberger brought an offensive system where the quarterback could not only roll out but sit in the pocket. He throws a strike there, or Schnellenberger moves on now to Louisville. And Bernie Kosar, Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator at the University of Miami. I just wonder if Bono would have been in an offensive system like that, and certainly he'd be much further along than the I formation option offense that UCLA has.
Meanwhile, John Lee, the All-America kicker, the #1 kick scorer in the NCAA major colleges, 104 points this past season. His long this year matched in the Fiesta Bowl at 51 yards. His career long, 52 yards. They're getting closer and closer.
And if you're wondering about any wind, there's not much wind blowing today at all, so that shouldn't be a factor.
It is a 1st down. They brought the chains across to double check. 39-yard line of Miami. Ryan Wiley, and he'll get a yard to the 38. Dallas Cameron with the tackle. 2nd down and 9. That's a 55-yard kick at that point. So UCLA may be content to stay on the ground and say, we just need 5 or 6 more yards. Let's not take any kind of chances.
It's interesting, the defensive philosophy now with what's happened to the University of Miami in the last 3 games, and Jimmy Johnson's philosophy at Oklahoma State, where he's from. Now they're up there blitzing, trying to get him out of that field goal range.
Little pump fake. Sherrard. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. 10-yard line. 28 yards. 1st down. 1:16 left to go. Bruins trail by 1. 37-36. Well within the range of John Lee. Boy, what a second half Bono has had.
It's just man on man, a little out and up. 28 is Martinez. I don't know if you can't see from that shot whether he was in bounds or not, but a little look and go. I don't know. I couldn't see any feet in bounds, but couldn't really tell from that shot.
Boston Green. And Green goes out of bounds around the 8 or the 9-yard line. 1 minute and 12 seconds. Kozar wants one more opportunity.
That's what he's thinking. Do I have to do it one more time? He has done it in the Florida game. He did it in the Boston College game. Flutie came back and took it away from him. Does he have to do it again?
Second half. In the second half, Steve Bono has completed 11 of 13, 182 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Maybe that National Scouting Combine that had him rated ahead of Doug Flutie knew something as far as potential as a pro.
Second down. Here's Green. Green to the 6-yard line. UCLA will stop the clock.
I think Miami's going to stop.
Miami,
yeah.
You're right. 1 minute and 3 seconds. Of course, Miami feeling that if we're going to fall behind
Shakespeare. I never will forget that. A game early in the year, national television, University of Florida against Miami, when they took it down within like 25, 30, 40 seconds and even scored. They feel like they can win if they get enough time, a minute. There's plenty of time for them to score. They've got to call timeout here. UCLA with the best field goal kicker in the nation.
And we have a problem. We have to name an outstanding player on each team. I have narrowed it down to about 6 players on each team.
Yeah. Bono has certainly played well the second half. Of course, Gaston Green has played well. James Washington with a sack early on in the ball game, with an interception, several big plays.
It's been a game of big plays, a fantastic Fiesta Bowl. 1 minute and 3 seconds, and there's still a lot of big plays left. I have that feeling.
There's the priest standing right behind Bernie Kosar, so if he had any ideas, I'm sure the father, the good father, would whisper them into Bernie's ears.
Wiley just leading in. Ryan Wiley, so now you look for John Lee. UCLA making sure. David Clinton. Miami takes another timeout. That stops the clock with 55 seconds. Clinton is the holder. Terry Theodore, the snapper. And, of course, the kicker is John Lee. And while we have a timeout, NBC Sports would like to thank Bruce Skinner, the executive director of the Fiesta Bowl, John Tucker, the associate executive director, Tom Fredina, the president of the board of directors, Dewey Shade, our television liaison from Arizona State University, operations manager, and one of the great track stars of all time, Olympian Herman Frazier. Good man. One of my favorite people in the world. Here we go. 55 seconds left to go. John Lee for the lead. From the 12-yard line, an attempt of 22 yards for John Lee. He is hit from 51 and from 33. Miami 37, UCLA 36. It's good. The Bruins now lead by 2, 39-37 with 51 seconds left.
You don't see many Asian football players, but John Lee is one. He was trying to get into the locker room at the Rose Bowl one day when they were playing a game there. The security guard wouldn't let him in, says, "You're not a football player." He had to go and get one of the coaches to convince the security guard that he was actually on the football team.
John Lee, 22 yards away. He is 3 for 3 today. And UCLA has the lead by 2, 39-37. And the Hurricanes of Miami, led by Bernie Kosar, have 51 seconds left.
Holding hands with the good Padre. Divine Providence
I don't know.
Getting the word, whatever.
Bernie's getting all the help he can get. 51 seconds left. Oliver to the 15, to the 20, and he is spun out at the 23-yard line by Craig Rutledge. 46 seconds left.
Bernie Kosar was burned by Doug Flutie with a Hail Mary. Now he gets his opportunity. 46 seconds.
Scott Mitchell and Rich Dyripple, our spotters, Dennis Benishian, our statistician. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. It's been a good one. 23-yard line. Miami in their own territory, trailing now 39-37. From here, it's on to the Rose Bowl and then the Orange Bowl. But can the Orange of the Hurricanes pull it out? Bratton has it. And is out of bounds near the 30-yard line. He'll pick up about 7. It'll be second down and 3. 38 seconds left.
When the University of Miami was burned by Boston College late in the year, they started about at this area, did Boston College, worked it up to about the 45 or 50-yard line with some short passes, and then, of course, the last Hail Mary at the end of the ball game. Kosar has got the kind of arm that he can do that.
In the Cotton Bowl, Boston College in front of Houston now 45-28. Here it's UCLA 39, Miami 37. This one is drilled and caught by Eddie Brown. 48-yard line, 18 yards, first down, 31 seconds left. Now, when this game's over, we'll be going to the Rose Bowl. We've got a problem. The Toyota Outstanding Players of today's game. We're going to mention those two names right at the end of the game. Now, what will happen, each player that we mention at the end of the game will receive a special trophy and achievement, and Toyota will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school.
They didn't call a timeout, Charlie. They were rushing around. All they needed was a field goal, not the touchdown. They were rushing around. They were unsettled. Big play by UCLA.
Go ahead.
Big play by UCLA. Kosar doing all he can to cover up for a porous defense.
15 seconds left. We can do it now. The Toyota Outstanding Players for the Bruins of UCLA, the great freshman Gaston Green, and for the Hurricanes of Miami, their great freshman who scored 2 touchdowns, Melvin Bratton. And $1,000 will be given to the General Scholarship Funds in their names. So congratulations to those 2 freshmen. A lot of football in front of them, and what a great Fiesta Bowl we've had. And
a lot of great players. You know, Charlie, we could have given that award to one of any of 10 players, Kosar included. But it's got to be a happy day for Terry Donahue. Coming into this ball game, he thought if it was going to be a high-scoring game, that there was no way he could be involved in a high-scoring game. He felt like 21-17 would be his. If anybody scored 30 in the 30s, he thought that he would be on the losing end by a big margin.
And by the way, happy holidays also from our producer Ken Edmondson, our director Andy Rosenberg. And now we'll just let the clock run out. Or as Miami know, they want to stop the clock, so it won't be official for 9 more seconds. And from here, we'll be going on to the Rose Bowl and then to the Orange Bowl. And what a way to start the day and the new year on NBC.
I just hope the Big Ten can come back in the Rose Bowl and get a little respectability, having gone to Purdue. And, you know, we've been embarrassed out there a few years.
Well, it just so happens that University of Southern California, one of my numerous alma maters.
Well, that's true. You've been around, but I just want to tell you that in the 1967 Rose Bowl, the Purdue Boilermakers took care of your Southern Cal Trojans.
That's right. But in the 1985 Fiesta Bowl, California against Florida, I would have to say that it is California by a narrow margin. The final, UCLA 39, Miami 37. For Bob Greasy, I'm Charlie Jones. Stay tuned for the Rose Bowl right after these messages from your local station. Happy New Year, everybody.